Wait for it. And so it begins. The adventures of our heroes of the Yellow Clay Village continue. I am your mighty games master, Gray Falcon, and these are our renowned players.
I am the player with no name. My character is Hermel Dredton, adventurer extraordinaire.
And I am Charlie. I am playing Lido and Eric, amongst just a bunch of others, but that's okay.
I am player with a name. My character's name is Grasshopper. He is a monk. I'm not sure what order he's from, but order in Yellow Clay.
I'm Milo, the King of Corsica, and I will be playing Delvin Plummer. He is the mercantile archaeologist of the group, ready for some subterranean spelunking, if you will.
Very good. All right. Now, to give a general recap of the adventure overall, Hermel and his friends, in particular, Lido, Ishkandar, Eric, Star of Justice, and that groovy crowd, had completed all of their adventures and saved the village of Yellow Clay from the brigands after long and sundry adventures, and then retired. They went on to create a mine and Ishkandar's wealth and so on, and the town started prospering. Yes.
You forgot Kramer.
And Pramar, the all to be forgotten Pramar, who no one ever can even notice. Right. So as is just and right and proper, I forgot Pramar. That's right. Okay. Yes. And so they were living in the village and everything was going just splendidly. And there were some problems with the village because it was getting more prosperous and strangers were coming in. And then one day, lo and behold, there's a town council meeting and they learned that several children had been kidnapped from the village. And this is 3 years after their last great adventure of saving the village. Hermel had been retired and he had been a kind of hero in the town and helped to advise the town council. And so he showed up, and along with a number of other famous people from the town were there, and the entire town actually packed into the hall. And when it was revealed that some of the children had been kidnapped, Hermel realized that his own daughter was left home alone, and the thunder and the lightning began to roar, and he ran across the town only to find that his daughter was gone. And so off onto the wild adventure he went with his few friends following him, and they dashed off into the wilderness. They came to a strange underground lair of some sort of weird beings and having some odd scorpion creatures in there, and they immediately turned tail and left. They went back upstairs, and then they wound their way across down this trail trying to follow what they believed were the kidnappers, and they followed their tracks, made their way through the gray hills, or the red hills, and through the rain and so on, and it was
a dead forest, right?
A dead forest they came to, and dead lakes with strange ghost fish in them, and they found an ancient giant canoe. They rowed it across the lake.
Fetish.
Yes, with using a fetish that they found in the canoe, a little feather doll. They managed to be able to control the canoe until they got to the other shore, when the canoe's main totem became alive and attacked them horribly in the wilderness in the middle of nowhere on the shore of this black lake, and they fought it.
Killed a teenager.
Yes, it did indeed. It picked up a teenager with its flying wooden wings and crushed him and threw him into the boat, and they managed to catch the boat on fire, and it and the fetish and everything burned to death, and that was the end of that. They continued on their way through the woods, and they met some natives, Untaka being the chief of these natives, and they made their way, they made friendship with these guys, and managed to convince them to help them to find the children, even though there was a very significant language barrier. But through pantomime and pointing and ooking and acking and whatever, they managed to convince Untaka that they were good guys. So off through the woods they went. They came to a large canyon in the middle of the woods that was crossed over with a huge log that had fallen over the canyon. And at that point, other natives showed up, these gray-skinned natives with black tattoos, and they had a terrible fight. So it wasn't a fight to the death. It was a fight for honor. Yes, it was the greenskins versus the grayskins. It was a fight for honor. Untaka versus the head of the gray-skinned natives. And Untaka won the honor point. And so the grayskins retreated. But at this time, the party decided to split. Untaka let it somehow be known that Praemar should come with him. Praemar, the albino child, the albino problem child, with his red flicking tongue, who apparently had some sort of incredible, unknown and secret past that not even he knew. He decided to follow Untaka. He and Bantam the giant went with Untaka through the woods, and the other party continued on their way to go rescue the children. Well, we'll follow the story of Hermel and the children rescuers. They went down a long ravine. They came to a trap in the middle of the woods of a like a dam, and there was water on the other side, and they were in this ravine, and the kobolds tricked them, and they almost got themselves killed, but they didn't. They scrambled out in the nick of time, and they captured one of the kobolds, and they managed to get the bag that it was holding after killing, I think, another one with an arrow. And inside the bag, they discovered Hermel's daughter. And so they had rescued the daughter, and they were on their way back when it became clear that they had a captured kobold, and he knew more than he was letting on, and there were other children who were still missing. So, being the brave heroes that they are, instead of bringing Hermel's daughter back to town, they decided to continue on to McPherson's cabin, where they had an inkling that McPherson knew more about this entire situation than he had let on. And so they got there, they met McPherson. He was an extremely disgruntled guy, and they got very little information out of him, wound up having a fight with him, and in the end, poor Lido got his
Bell rung.
His bell rung. Yes, quite literally, his bell rung by McPherson's son, who he got into a fight with while trying to steal one of their goats from their backyard. It was an ill-fated decision on the part of Lido. And lo and behold, at that time, leading a caravan of wagons comes Ishkandar and Eric and some of the other heroes from the Yellow Clay village. And they reunite at this time. And Hermel, who really just never actually got along at all with Ishkandar whatsoever.
He loves him.
Yeah, that poor hobbit. He really tried, but every time you turn around, the hobbit's causing untold trouble. So you can't really blame Hermel. In any case, Hermel pointedly asks Ishkandar, in the name of his goddess of the earth, would he switch places with Lido if he could? Because, he said, it was really Ishkandar's fault that Lido took such a crazy risk with his life, following in the footsteps of his dearest friend, acting as though he were like Ishkandar, an absurd thing to do. And Ishkandar, without a moment's hesitation, said, why, yes, I would, which completely shocked Hermel. And he went off to the side. Yeah, heart bigger than a canker or whatever. Anyway, so Hermel steps off to the side and contemplates to himself, and lo and behold, a vision of Minvar comes to him from the deepest earth, and she says, yeah, I can make that switch. That's cool. And Hermel's like, oh wait, no, like I was just like saying hypothetically, I was just kind of kidding and stuff, I wasn't really serious about it. But she's like, no, justice must be served, and Ishkandar has volunteered. I accept. And lo and behold, Ishkandar falls to the ground, and Lido's wounds mystically heal. And there he is. He's standing there. And Ishkandar goes to the gray havens under the earth, where he stands all alone next to the waterfalls of death, looking over into the darkest of glooms with the ravens flying above his head, wondering where have I let myself go? Freezing, and it's really awful for Ishkandar. And Lido wakes up, and then they say, okay, great. We've got to find the other children. Let's go down, and we're going to explore this well. They go down into the well. There are traps, and they find a corridor on the side of the wall. They open the thing. They go into the room. Inside is an open chamber with some dirty mats, and there's one of these bags on the wall. Well, they open up the bag by touching it. It's a mystical bag. And they touch it, and they did this. So what was that trick that you guys did to get the kid out of the bag without... Oh, Hermel voluntarily touches the bag in order to switch places with the kid. Goes into this mystery room as soon as he touches, and the kid comes out. His name is Thomas. He's a nice little boy. He looks terror-stricken, and he says nothing happened. He'd been in the bag for what seemed like ages, but he wasn't, he wasn't ill-abused in any way. And they carry him back up the well, and he's outside with Hermel's daughter, and the other heroes are up guarding her and Ishkandar's body. So somehow or other, I forget. Oh yeah, they did some switcho change up.
I think I just cut the bag.
Oh, that's right. They broke the
panicking.
bag. Yeah.
He was panicking.
Yeah. If you open the top of the bag, then it breaks it, and that's what they did. They broke the silver bands that secured the bag, and so the magic was gone, and there is Hermel. So they continue through a small door into a tiny corridor, and they crawl along. There are lots of rats in there, and it's all awful. And they get through, and they get to the other side, and there's another door, and there are some kobolds. So they go chase down the kobolds. The kobolds eat and scramble down some stairs. They follow them down the stairs and into a room. There are no kobolds down there. But in this room, there's a big, massive-looking, horrible statue of a demon sitting with its big pot belly and leering grin with this red, fiery glow behind it. And it's sitting there. It's a stone statue. It's not doing anything. And so they explore the room, and they find what they believe is a really rotten trap. It's a big stone wheel that if they touch the wrong thing will slide forward and seal the door under a 200-ton stone wheel. So Hermel says, great, I know what to do. I'm going to spike the wheel with my spike. He starts hammering the spike into the wheel, triggering the trap, causing the wheel to roll, and sealing them in the room.
He pulled an Ishkandar.
Yeah, amazingly enough. So there they are. They're stuck in the room, except there's an open corridor. So they throw a torch down the corridor. They then are encountered by a guy who brings the torch back up to them from the deeper, darker places beneath the dungeon, and he announces that he is willing to make a bargain for the children, but Hermel will have none of it. There are no bargains. They will give back the children. Hermel tries to take the guy on. They shoot an arrow. He snuffs the torch and disappears down the stairs. Well, they start looking around the room again, trying to figure out if there's another way to go or what else is going on. And meanwhile, another guy comes up, a big hulking barbarian guy whose name is Thorgrim. And he's got two creatures with him that they can hear, but they can't see. It's in the darkness. And he announces that he will fight mano a mano, one man for one child. Hermel says, no, we ain't doing that either, buddy. And that was the end of that. The guy says, serve yourselves, and goes back. They try to taunt him. They're like, oh, yeah. Come on.
I thought he fought the dwarf.
No, that was later. That was later. Okay. So Thorgrim disappears back downstairs. Boom, they follow him. Now they're creeping down the stairs, long flight of stairs going down. They get to this lake at the bottom of the stairs, a lake. And in the lake are all kinds of writhing, monstrous worms, horrible looking place. But they skirt along the edge, and they do a little magic, and they get themselves on the other side into another cave. And they follow the sandy tracks across the cave. And in that cave are these floating gems above what looks like a tiny miniature volcano. But Hermel's like, no, do not touch those gems. It's a trap. And so they skirt the gems, they pass this mysterious portal, and they follow the tracks, and they get into this kind of oozy, fern-covered, moss-covered, wet, steamy cave. And off the walls descends these flickering lights, and they surround Lido's head, and they cling to his hair and put him into this amazing dream. And he falls asleep, and now he's dreaming of this wonderful, amazing, almost like Shangri-La kingdom of giants. And he finds Ishkandar there, and it's amazing. And they go and they challenge the giants, and then they become friends with the giants. And then Ishkandar introduces the art of drinking to the giants' peaceful kingdom. And within 100 years, everything's fallen apart, and the dream goes on, and Ishkandar's sitting there all lonely and depressed with Lido, and all the people in the kingdom have kind of fallen to pieces, and the king is the last guy there, and he's just sitting at the chair. He's like, wow, that sucked. And everybody's drunk, and they're all lazy now, and the kingdom fell apart. And they decide, yeah, maybe it's time to go. So
Find a party elsewhere, man.
It's like, this party is really, you guys, whatever. And so they leave, they go back downstairs, and lo and behold, Lido wakes up. But not before many things have happened. They carried Lido this whole time into the next chamber. A huge cavern, they cannot see the far end of it, and they go a little ways in, and they find these cone-shaped towers. And lo and behold, Thorgrim shows up and challenges them again. And this time, they can see that his two companions are actually these dreadful gnolls. Hyena-headed gnolls, warrior types, really nasty looking, unfriendly, but craven at the same time. And Thorgrim seems to have nominal control over them. And so Eric, the dwarf, the warrior, the man, fights mano a mano with Thorgrim and totally plows into him, crushes Thorgrim in like 2 melees, and Thorgrim goes down, and he's just like, wow, that was bad. Anticlimactic big time. But, Eric's all puffed up. He's cool. He's like, yeah, that was easy. And so now they captured Thorgrim, and they are carrying him because Thorgrim announced that he knew where the kids were. And so they have him tied up. They had some sundry adventure in the cones against the gnolls. They wound up defeating the 2 gnolls there. They met these peck creatures that were mining or doing something, construction maybe, who knows, underneath these cone structures. And they continued on with Thorgrim in tow into what was called Black Ent Vale. That's where they are now. And they have just incredibly split the party again. After a short bout with some Black Ent, and seeing other Black Ents, and Hermel got hit in the arm with a Black Ent dart. It flung its branches at him and hit him with the dart. And so now Hermel and Lido are sitting on top of a little dale in between 2 ravines. They can see just by the little light of their torchlight. And down below have gone the major fighters who Hermel's plan. The fighters go down, they engage with some whatever might be ahead of them, and then he and Lido will swoop down to their rescue from above. And that's where they are. The 3 great warriors have gone into a cave. And they made their way through this cave, and they turned left and then right and then left and then right and around and back and left and then right, following the sound of flutes. And there they are. They enter a chamber in which they see that there are 7 children playing flutes. What do you do?
So this is awesome. Can you say who's in which group?
Yes. So Grasshopper the monk is with Delvin, the mercantile archaeologist of the deep, and Eric, the warrior.
Okay. And we're with the flutes?
Yes, they are with the flutes.
And he's following along or something? Is somebody like entranced? I don't know. Was somebody
You also
entranced?
have the doctor with us too, right?
No.
No, he's what is he?
Oh,
Yeah,
boy.
he's with Prima.
He's with Kramer.
Yeah, Dr. Larrabee Jones.
Was somebody entranced with the flutes, or
Well, the music isn't, like entrancing exactly, but it does. I mean, it is, in a sense, it's entrancing. I mean, you guys have been following it for at least 10 minutes, and it is beautiful music. It is quite amazing.
I mean, I just want to check to see if I can walk away from it. If I, like with my or does my willpower make me compelled to me to follow? So I'm gonna try to turn away and walk away.
Okay, so you guys at the moment are at the entrance. You have not walked into the room.
Oh, okay.
So you can see the kids through this open archway.
Okay.
And on the other side of the kids, you can see, and there's a little fire between them, and you can see that there's actually a hole in the ground.
Okay.
In the center of this room, there's a round hole. And on the far side,
We're looking at them through like a window or just an opening, a doorway opening, or
you're looking at them through an open archway from a tunnel.
and we're like we're 20 feet away from them.
Yeah, roughly 20 feet. And on the far side of the kids, you can see by their firelight that there is a stone, like a large stone boulder on which there is a flat area that has been kind of polished smooth. So it forms like a rectangle of completely smooth, flat stone on which there is what looks to be like a blackboard.
Black what?
A blackboard.
Blackboard.
Yes, a blackboard. And on the blackboard, you can see that there is chalk writing.
Is it decipherable or?
Looks like mathematical formulas.
It's like my 7th grade musical class.
Something like that.
So yeah, I'm just gonna check to see if this music has some kind of effect on the mind first. Just try to walk away from it.
Okay.
Like I'll just walk back 5 feet.
You walk back 5 feet. You don't have a problem with it, but you do notice that the ground is covered with a blue mist.
Well, Delvin is going to take the cue of the music and sort of create a bit of an impromptu musical number, if you will.
Okay.
And he'll be singing along with the sounds of the flutes and back at the children. Oh, musical children, here back from the land of yellow clay. And your parents are waiting. Oh, how they're waiting for us to whisk you away. And I'm singing like it's Willy Wonka. And I want you to come with me. Put down your flutes and let's go scoot back home to mom and daddy.
And what does Delvin have as a motivation for this action?
He wants to get them to leave this room and follow him because our whole purpose for being here is to rescue children. I can only assume that these children were not born in this cavern, that there was somehow the children were supposed to bring back to the land of yellow clay and Hobbiton.
Can you can you describe the children? What are they wearing? How old are they? Do they look healthy? Do they look sallow? Do they,
Yes. The children look ragamuffin.
How old about?
Anywhere between 7 and maybe 7 and 11.
With cloven feet and 6-inch daggers for nails.
No cloven feet, no 6-inch daggers. They're dressed in black. They have black bandanas over their heads. But their faces aren't, concealed. It's just covering their hair.
How do their face look? Do they look serene? Do they look in pain? Do they look?
They look serene. They're,
Do they look
they look like they are entranced with the music.
Oh, and did they pay no attention to us singing?
They have not made any indication that they know that you're there.
I say we crush their flutes. Can't
Says
stand
there.
the infernal noise. Jesus, it's terrible.
Is the
That's
mist
nice,
the blue mist is just staying on the ground, not doing anything? You see the blue mist?
The blue mist is actually moving over the ground from behind in the direction you came, and
Eric does not like blue mist. He's seen blue mist in the past, and he will make sure to not let it touch him at all costs.
Okay, well, it is coming down the corridor. There's only one direction to go, which would be into the room. to avoid the blue mist.
I'll go in there.
Fantastic night. I don't need this again.
Well, how's the music? Is the music fast? Is it slow? Is it somber? Is it happy?
Ah, that's an amazingly good question.
Is it like the beginning of Stairway to Heaven?
No, but Grasshopper listens carefully to the music, and he notices that even though the music actually sounds perfectly nice, each of the children is playing at a different tempo, but the tempos are all, they're harmonically synchronized in a way, but in terms of time.
So, like, how many kids are there?
7.
Boy, girl.
Yes, they're boys and girls.
Okay.
4 boys, 3 girls.
Are they together as girls and boys, or are they boy, girl, boy, girl?
Boy, girl, boy, girl. One of the girls, as you're looking, you find one of the girls is actually really kind of like just remarkably beautiful girl.
Her name is Baby.
Yes, remarkably beautiful girl who has like the look of ecstasy in her eyes while she's playing.
She's 7, man.
The other ones are, as Grasshopper observes carefully, he notices that he feels that the others are actually in some way following her lead.
Okay. Is she like in a prominent position, or are they any kind of pattern the way they're sitting?
She's the closest one to the blackboard.
She's first chair.
Is she like the oldest look? Yeah,
She also happens to look the oldest.
And then, based on the age, like if I see like a younger one, is he not playing? He or she not playing as well?
No, they're all playing incredibly well.
And they just now the two when they play, is it like just? Does it have like a motif or melody, or does it just go? It's like free form improv, just goes all over the place.
No, it definitely has a melody.
Okay.
It definitely, but at the same time, he senses that there is a improvisational aspect to what they're doing.
Okay. I don't have any knowledge of music, so I can't.
Right, but the important piece here for Grasshopper is this interplay of timing.
Yes.
Grasshopper feels, with his deep insight about the nature of time, that there is something supernatural about what they're doing.
Because of the whole time. I'll just I'll listen for another 2 minutes and see if I can discern anything else.
Well, then I'm going to try and disrupt with off-tempo clapping. See if I can disrupt some of the other
tempo
kids' tempos.
Okay.
See what happens, because I'm not going to try and on her because she's obviously too completely in the zone. She's like deeply rocking, kicking in like a club all by herself.
Yeah.
But the others,
right.
They're a lot younger. I'm going to try to fuck their time up like that jerk at the back of the concert.
Okay, that's cool.
Neil Peart, try this.
And what's his motive for doing so?
Trying to see if there is a magical thing that their music is accomplishing. Well, what happens if you tamper or fuck with it?
Right. Okay. Now, meanwhile, this rolling blue mist, which is about the height of your ankles, is now within a few moments of approaching you. I'm just letting you know it's been rolling towards you, and now it's quite close, and you can feel a chill coming from the mist.
I don't like the chill. I will move into the room.
Okay, Delvin.
Well, then I will move into the room.
Eric's already been moved.
Okay, Eric. Okay, Eric goes into the room, and everybody follows. Meanwhile, Delvin, you try and give a
counter rhythm.
Okay.
With
somewhat like Melkor from afar.
And despite his clapping, I'm going to try and listen to the music for like about 2 minutes.
As soon as you walk in and he starts doing his alternate clapping tempo, the room goes dark.
Okay.
A disco ball drops you.
That would be so cool, but no.
The music is still going?
No, the music is gone.
Okay.
It's dark, and
Like the
silence.
village people, we all hate to
The only
align number.
sound is the sound of Delvin's clapping in an asynchronous rhythm.
Okay, I'll take it. Delvin, stop clapping. Let's see if the music comes back.
I stopped that.
No music return.
Is,
It is silent. It
I'm
is
gonna-
cold. There's a
do we have
chill
torches?
in the
I'm going to
air.
use my night vision.
Okay.
And I can see as well, so Eric can see in the dark as well.
Wait, did I have it going? I don't remember because I had it.
I think
going.
you did. Yes,
Okay.
you had night vision going already.
When it went darkness, does night vision still work?
Yeah.
Okay, what do I see now?
You see what you saw before, except the room is empty.
Then
The kids are gone.
The kids are gone.
The fire's out.
The fire's gone.
I think it was an illusion.
You see that there's cobwebs all over the room
Okay.
and leaves.
Oh, I've seen this before. It ain't good, I tell you.
There's a wind that's blowing through
If
the
you happen
room.
to see a calendar fly by, grab it. You'll need it. I'm telling you.
I got the
But there is a hole in the center of the floor.
Okay. Just for funzos, you want to step out of the room and see if the illusion was back, or you don't?
Did you just say for funzos?
Yes.
Wow.
That's on tape.
I'm impressed.
Okay. Do you want to try see if the vision comes back if we step out of the room real quick? Or, I mean, we don't have to.
Do you want me to step out?
Well, all of us would have to.
We could try to step out. I don't mind stepping
I
out.
mean, I know the blue misty's there, but.
Yeah, when we turn around, is there an opening still?
Yes.
Okay.
There's a corridor. Nothing changed at all except that the room is empty.
Well, the music stopped and the kids are gone.
And cobwebs
Well, I mean, yeah,
appeared.
the room is empty. Yeah. I mean,
Cobwebs.
nothing changed in the environment other than
Okay.
In the imminent threat part.
The architecture is the same. It's just that
architecture's the same. Everything's
the
the same.
ambiance has changed.
Right.
And
What if we light the brazier they were using? Try that. I don't have any equipment.
Yeah, I'm gonna go quickly
He
check
has-
this slate.
well, you have an
The
ability-
slate is empty. There's nothing on it.
You can make fire because you have. So why don't you make a fire in the brazier that's there? Right? Is there still a brazier
Want me to burn my bra?
there?
Brazier.
I was
Brazier,
gonna say.
brazier, whatever. You know.
Yeah. It's up to you.
Sure, I'll put a little fire in the room.
Okay. There are some very old sticks of wood in the brazier. You like
Hey,
it?
not like a good brazier. Okay.
Nothing like it. Okay, you like. Then there's a small fire that is now starting to kindle in the room.
Okay.
The slate on the stone is there, but it's covered in cobwebs, and there's no writing on it. Or if there is, it's very, very faded.
Either we've gotten stuck in time and now it's the future, or we're back in the past. Something's happened. I've seen that mist before.
In the corridor behind you, you can see that the mist is filling the corridor and starting to come into the room.
We're in trouble.
I don't know what to do with the mist.
I'm going to grab them, and I can remember where these guys were above us, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to stone walk, or earth walk, I should say, up to where they are. To
Okay.
Get us out of here.
Okay, that's right, because you guys had already targeted the stone to do that.
Right.
Right. So you have your escape route.
So I
You
can
figure
grab
you-
them both.
Yeah, Eric, because he's a dwarf, did not lose a sense of direction as they were going back and forth through these corridors. So he actually does know exactly where that stone is and how deep they are and where they went. Everybody else is completely lost.
Great.
Okay.
Do I have to roll for it?
Yes.
This is something.
Okay. So, Eric. Oh wait, no. Oh. Yeah. Eric is going to roll. He's got a level 3 at stone walking, earth walking, and but the difficulty in this situation feels to him like because of the nature of this room and the magic that seems to infuse it, he actually gets a sense that this is going to be harder than it would be normally. So he's rolling against a 5, and that means he needs a 6 or better.
Eric is going to put a point into it.
Okay, needs a 5 or better. Nice. Sweet. I'm not gonna say that. Okay, fine. He makes it. Okay. On one of the stones, a portal of darkness opens.
Okay.
And Eric has now created a kind of dimension door through the earth plane.
Okay. Let's go in.
Let's get the heck out of here.
It's totally psychedelic, my friend. Let's dive.
I tried.
Okay.
Geronimo!
Now you're gonna pass the stone. I mean the circle in the center of the room.
I assume we take precautions walking around. There's no way to walk over it.
Well, you have to walk around it.
Okay, we'll walk around.
It's a perfectly symmetrical shaft going down.
Okay, how long does your earth walk stay open?
Um,
I mean, do we have time to have a quick cursory look at this thing?
I will just tell you, it will actually stay open for a few minutes before it, says nobody's coming and it closes.
Okay, so I'll take a quick look at this recess.
Okay, it goes down. It descends into darkness, but because you have the ability to see through this darkness, you can see that at the bottom there is a circular, what looks like a circle of stone. And on the circle of stone, you see what looks like glinting.
you see the fossa on the side.
Little circular glints of kind of yellow, yellowish.
Gold pieces.
If you were to just wager a guess, you would guess that those are pieces of gold.
I'll point it out to these guys, my companions, but I assume we're not going to have time to investigate because you just opened the hole. So, all right, make of that what you will. And
Milo,
I'm already saying.
are you keeping track of these experience-related
Yes.
things? Did you get the?
Oh yeah, that's right. Anytime we roll and have a success.
Yes, I did.
Oh, good. See how they're okay. Good. Thank you. Thank you. That's very good. Okay. So it was a difficulty of 5, and he got it. So it was successful. Okay. I'm sorry. So where were we?
We were finding out if everybody was going to follow me or I'm
Yes.
going to grab them and say, "Let's go."
do you want to jump down the hole or just go through? I mean, do you want to check out?
Ishmandar's not here. Let's not make any trouble.
How about you, Milo? Do you want to check out the what seems to be gold pieces?
Normally I would, except I believe I said Geronimo early this
Yeah.
being
Okay.
period.
These are ready to go.
Hieronymus!
All right. So I guess I'll follow them.
No,
Okay.
dude, the psychedelic experience of diving from one part of the dungeon to another for someone in my profession it cannot be missed.
There you go. Okay.
As
You
long as we
guys
can
step
find our way.
through.
Can we find our way back down there if we need to? Or?
I can
Yeah.
remember the area. if I
Okay.
need to.
All right.
Where is Star of Justice?
With Kramer.
Okay.
So, you guys step into a portal of stone. The sensation is unnerving, to say the least, because you're actually walking through stone. It's not like a portal opened up. You've now stepped into another dimension.
Okay.
It's the earth dimension. And it feels very slow moving, very, very heavy. Everything feels incredibly dense. It's very difficult to walk forward, but you're managing to follow Eric. Eric is leading you along a path that you can kind of sense, but you're not really sure about the technical details. But there's a large slab of granite that is being intersected by an enormous boulder of diorite. And even Eric cannot make it through the diorite. He has to skirt around it. And as he's skirting around it, he steps onto an open ledge. And it is incredibly hot. There's a flow of magma that is pouring over a waterfall of magma that is in this open cavern about maybe 100 feet away. And there's billowing smoke, and you know, it's a hellish environment. You're not even sure if these guys are entirely capable of surviving in this kind of heat. Even Eric is feeling his skin getting singed.
Should we go back where we came, or
We've got no other way to go.
Well, you can go laterally, or you can try going down. You
But
could
down
try,
underneath the magnet, you mean?
yeah,
And then come back up on the other side.
you could try that. You could try, although you're not sure if this would work. You might be able to go over it because it's an open cavern. If you could find enough of a foothold along the granite and it doesn't turn into softer sandstone or anything like that you might slip through, you might be able to make it over. But you think either lateral or below might be safer.
I trust your judgment. I've never done this before. Can we even communicate through this sludge?
It's really no. You guys, as long as you're inside the stone, he's already stepped out onto the ledge. You guys are still in the stone, but he stopped, and so you stopped.
I'm just gonna look at him like,
Yeah, you don't know what's ahead.
I go with
You guys can't see anything
going
except
underneath.
Eric.
well, we're feeling hot, right?
We're going
You're
underneath.
feeling, the temperature is definitely increasing. What's
We're
that?
gonna go underneath.
You're going to go underneath. Okay. So you follow the ledge on the inside of the stone because there's, layers of stone. This is all sedimentary. And there's a flow that is actually going down, and it's following the cavern's floor. So you're just below the floor, and you realize, no, this is also going to be way too hot. You guys, even before he gets down that far, you're already feeling incredible pressure and incredible heat, and it's not the kind of thing that you can enjoy.
Back in
We're in his
it
hands.
is.
Okay.
Yeah, we're in his hands. I don't.
Right.
I can only go where he goes.
So sure. So you hustle back up the other way. Okay. And you head back up. It's a slow climb as you're kind of making your way back up, and behind you you hear the sizzling sound of some kind of voice.
We start to move a lot faster.
Okay. Yeah. You guys can hear it, but you have no idea. It just sounds like a rumble. But to you, it sounds like a voice, Eric. And the voice is saying,
Fire elemental of some sort.
sounds like something you probably wouldn't really like to hang out with.
Eric is
This
getting that.
sizzling, burning, crushing sound.
Like the
Yeah.
Balrog in Lord of the Rings.
Maybe.
Yeah, Eric starts pulling him a little faster.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, okay. So you guys are getting kind of pulled along. And the voice says, in a voice I will not even attempt to actually imitate,
Well, I can't
because that
understand
would be
anyway. So.
quite impossible. All you hear is a louder thunder
Yeah,
kind of rumble through the stone.
I
But
should
it
hear what it's
says
saying, so.
the following in an ancient language that Eric has only heard a few times and only knows a tiny bit of, but it says, "Who goes there?" Like that. That's very good. Yeah.
We keep moving.
Okay. You got a bad feeling that it's moving.
We're moving quick.
Yeah, and you guys feel the
It's an
earth starting to
Text
tremble.
from an elemental.
Yeah, you feel the earth trembling under your feet and all around your bodies and through your bodies.
You
Yes.
feel the earth
There's nothing I can do.
under your feet.
I can't.
We
act
know,
this
we
out.
know there's nothing you can do. You keep following.
Yeah, I keep following.
Right. Eric, what are you doing?
Pulling them as fast as I can to get up there to go lateral.
Okay. We're gonna roll for this. Can you beat this? You're pulling two guys along, okay? And what's Eric's strength?
6.
Okay, that's good. All right, go ahead. Try and roll.
4.
A 4. You're managing to stay abreast, and it doesn't feel like it's gaining on you, but it is moving behind you. You can tell. First off, you can feel the heat of it as it's coming behind you. It's starting to heat up all of the stone on all sides of you, but it's doing it as as quickly as you're moving. The stone is getting hotter. You can feel that behind you the stone is getting quite hot. And if you were back where you guys were before, you'd have been already incinerated. Yeah.
I missed that blue mist all day.
It was a cooling blue mist.
Yes.
Soothing almost.
Freon.
In a chilling sort of way. Okay, so you make your way back up to the ledge.
This is his world version of icy hot.
Right. So you make it back up to the ledge. There's two other ways to go: above and lateral.
Above, though, we'd have to try and find something over the background.
You feel that that's risky.
Yeah, I'm saying lateral.
Okay. So you make your way along this lateral path, and it's a little slippery. It's a little bit tricky. And go ahead and roll to see what is your climbing skill. If you have it.
Don't have one.
Okay.
But Delvin does.
Delvin, you have a climbing skill.
I most certainly do, my
I have a
friend.
climbing skill of 5.
Okay, all right. These guys are actually now as a dwarf, you kind of, have a natural inclination for this sort of thing. But so I'm going to give you a +1 as a dwarf, but you're rolling a 2 versus a 3, which is the difficulty. So climbing difficulty is 3,
I have a 4.
and he's got a 2. Okay, he's going to roll. Let's see if he makes it.
5.
Okay, he makes it. Since you guys are following him, I'm just going to say that, you managed to, you're
Okay.
holding on, and he does the right thing and goes the right way and leads you the right way, and it's cool. You guys make it.
Hold on, Eric.
Okay, so you make it past this cavern. You go a pretty long way, and now okay, now you've got to take this journey to the stone. And so you're now going through various kinds of, other sundry rock, and you come to a crystal. This is really an enormous crystal. You believe that it is a very, very large amethyst.
That's what vision is like. Is it like being underwater? I can't.
You can't see anything except Eric.
Okay.
Eric can see through the stone, and
So it's like being deep underwater.
right. If you'd gone into the open chamber, if you'd followed him into the scorching heat, you would have had a few moments of being able to actually see.
Before you Chris.
Right, but you're inside the stone. There's no light.
Okay.
You can't see, but you're just following Eric.
I'm just being dragged along.
Yeah, you're basically being pulled along by Eric. But Eric, you see this enormous crystal amethyst. Your instant estimation of its value is somewhere in the maybe hundreds of thousands of gold.
Is it something that I can pick up?
No. It weighs, you're guessing, probably about 2 tons. It's enormous.
Something
It's like the size,
three of us can pick up?
it's the size of the quarter of this room. It's
Big one,
embedded
what
in
are
the
you
rock.
talking about?
Yeah.
But there is a hollow space inside this amethyst.
A hollow space.
Yeah.
Is that hollow space shaped like anything?
Just a little peek.
Well, it's like shaped like a circular chamber with, amethyst crystals. Made of amethyst crystals.
But you said there's a hollow thing inside the
Yeah,
amethyst?
it's hollow on the inside, but that hollow shape is circular,
Okay.
and its walls are all amethyst
Okay.
crystals.
Okay. But it's like perfect spheric.
It's not perfect sphere, but it's
Oh,
kind of
Geo.
shape.
It's a geo.
It's a giant geode.
Okay. I just want to see if there was maybe like a human shape in there, like there was something once in
You
there
don't see. No, you
from
don't
an
see.
egg standpoint, now,
Just look for
you know.
God's sake.
No, you
I
don't
am
see anything
looking.
like that.
Okay, so
But it
alright.
is pulsating with power. It's pulsating with energy.
Pulsating power and energy.
Power
I
is
see that we
engine.
skirt this.
Look
And
inside.
we're gonna go back up to where Hermel is at.
Okay. You pass the geode and you make your way, and within a half an hour, you manage to poke your head through, and you're now standing about 15 feet away from Eric. I mean, from Hermel. Hermel,
Hello.
you see Eric pop his head through a stone.
Huh. You didn't get captured.
But we did see the blue mist. Remember that stuff?
I don't think Eric had the circle.
Yeah, he did.
Okay,
Eric
and
did.
you guys
Eric
follow
was
through.
Yeah,
Are you
I don't
actually
like-
exiting, or you're just hanging out with your head sticking out?
As soon as he pulls me out, I don't like being in the stone. It's
Okay.
very
Yeah, this is not what I
Eric, you
thought it
pull
was
them
going
out,
to be.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. All three of them come out from. Well, it looks like they just stepped out outside of a slab of ground.
Yeah, I don't want to be doing that again.
Did you have a little adventure?
It's very claustrophobic.
It did get you out, though.
I did. But I could. He was yanking pretty hard. And it was getting hot.
You
I
do feel sore. You feel sore all over from the
Okay.
tips of your toes to the top of your head.
It wasn't a pleasant experience. I guess.
So how many times can you do that trick again?
I'm going to actually have to sit and meditate and recoup.
Okay.
I'm down to 1.
Oh, you're down to 1?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'll tell
Okay.
Hermel about the children and the playing and the room. And the
Describe the children to me.
I'm going to roll for it.
I'll
Right?
describe the old.
Actually, there's no need. Are there any children you recognize from the village?
You would tell me if I recognize him, right?
Yeah, but Grasshopper was not actually from the village. He didn't grow up there.
That's why I figured that.
He's from Bear Claw Village.
Well,
So
describe
he,
them.
I'll describe the tallest was.
We'll start with the
whatever.
girl.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and
I'll
roll
just-
for that.
okay.
Now, here's the thing. I'm at 1. It takes 1 to do it, so I dropped to 0 right after I've done it. But since I'm in a meditation state, it's still okay, right?
Right, you get it back if you roll a 1. So it's basically you roll a 1 and just didn't do anything.
Gotcha. So I get 3 in
Okay.
an hour.
Okay.
So I'm back up to 3.
I'll describe the children as best I can.
Hard to tell. But the girl that he describes, actually, there was a girl who used to live in Yellow Clay, and she was actually supposed, at the time, she was an excellent musician, but she left the town or otherwise, disappeared a few years ago. This was right around the time, by the way, that Hermel saved the village from the bandits. The last time that she was seen in the village, but everybody just assumed that she went on to Hobbington to become a famous musician or something. Even though she was quite young.
How old were these kids?
She was looked like she was around 11.
11. Nearly of marrying age.
Of Yellow Clay, yes.
I'll also describe the chamber with what seem to be gold pieces in there. That brings anything to mind.
Just a quick history lesson. Eric was involved with
the
Loeb,
slings and
right?
arrows.
The
I
gold.
remember him being involved with Loeb.
Well, involved. He was definitely involved.
Because he
Yeah.
saw the mist with the night and things like that.
What does this fish do? Why does it make?
Why are you saying no? Like, I'm just curious. I don't recall exactly him not being there. Why are you saying that he wasn't there? Who was there at the time when the mist was in the room?
Halflings.
The halflings, just the hobbits. Where was Eric at the time? Was he like in the in the Five Crows, or why do you think he wasn't there? He must have been someplace else then.
Well, I'm going to assume he was there and ask him why.
I'm thinking that you may be right.
I'm trying to stay in character. And
Sure,
I'm
sure.
just saying that, yeah. So you would say, how do you know about that?
Yeah. Okay. I'm not sure that he knows. Well, at the very least, Eric would have heard the story.
Well, I know nothing of this mist. Can you tell me why it fears you so?
There was a doctor, Dr. Loeb, and he had this ability to traverse time. And anytime he did this, there was always a blue mist around, and it would always creep up on you. And then there's a stories of a phantasmal night that would come out of it. And I don't like any of this stuff. It's buggery to me.
Okay.
Buggery is something different.
Yeah.
Sure enough. Okay.
So what happened then? So you saw them?
You saw kids.
He decided
Oh, that's awesome.
to mess with their tempo and they disappeared. Now, it could have been that once we entered the room, they disappeared.
Were they even there?
Could have been an illusion.
I don't know if Star Justice is pretty cool.
Yeah. Were they even there?
So they're there for the eyes and the ears, but as far as to the touch, I can't tell.
Milo, you could show our audience.
There's no picture.
What do you mean?
I just look.
What happened?
Oh, it was doing it back. Okay. Now you can show me.
So yeah, they might have been figments for all we know, but we had no time to that.
Where's Thorgrim? With me?
No, we let Thorgrim go.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, we did. We most certainly did at the last event. We let Thorgrim go, and I was very much against it.
No.
I was very upset with everybody for letting him go.
No,
I don't
we
remember. I wasn't
freed
there for this.
him. We did not let him go. We gave him a weapon, I think.
Yeah, but he's with us.
Yeah, he's with us.
Well, with that, now he's with us. We gave him a weapon. That's what it was.
So, Thorgrim,
I mean,
something
you gave him back his own
something
weapon,
puzzles me.
which
You
Eric was
say
holding.
you don't know where the master is.
Yeah.
You say you don't know where the kids are.
You should have given him back.
But you made a deal
and kept his bacon.
to deliver a kid.
That would have been good.
How were you intending to make that deal, or were you lying?
I'm a man of my word, if nothing else, and I tell you honestly, I don't know where the master is, and I do know where one of the kids is.
Is the master Scaparelli or is the master Crumpus?
When I say master, I mean Scaparelli.
So you know where the kids are. Where is that child?
In Whitewood Village.
Does the story of the kids with the flute and everything?
Is that here?
We're not far. It's on the other side of Black End Vale.
to the children with the flute? So
I think
Do they
there's
sound- they-
something.
Could you close that?
the children with the flute. So do they spark any memories in him? Does he know anything of them?
Not in particular, although I'm not entirely surprised.
Explain.
Crumpus has a school. Maybe those children are students of his.
Are they taking and just disappearing like that, or how do you explain that?
That I don't know.
Maybe they went down the hole.
So you think this reminds you of the problems with time that we had before? So there was some sort of disturbance up top. This may be the source of it.
You hear a yelp, not far, about maybe 150 feet away.
I healed Thorgrim as well, which is what you're really against.
Mm-hmm.
And I healed him so that when the gnolls come, he can control them.
It's not really a thing I'm up against anymore. I mean, it's
Was he-
decided. It's the way it is.
Does the yelp sound like a no yelp?
It does?
Okay.
You
How's
hear another
Thorgrim?
yelp.
Does he look alarmed?
Thorgrim, he just raises an eyebrow and looks off in the direction of the yelp.
So this mist isn't damaging to them?
He says they're probably skirting the tops of the canyons.
You mean leaping from like one to the other?
There might be ways for them to do that. They're resourceful, if nothing else.
So what do you think? Should we waste another trip down there to find children who aren't there, or shall we go to where we know we can find one?
We haven't checked that recess in the ground. Yeah. For all we know, they jumped down there when they heard the clap.
No, that was supernatural. Come on.
You don't know that.
There was writing on a slate, and now the slate is clean. We see a room full of raggedy children in black robes making arcane music. Then all of a sudden, the room goes black, and it's all gone.
And cobwebs.
And there's cobwebs and dust everywhere, and no footprints of little children on the ground. No, this was mystical.
Okay, but
And I can guarantee, though I don't have any, though I find it strange just as well, that the gold in the bottom of that
Thorgrim
well
still speaks
is
of
either
a
a
class
trap
of
to lure. It's either the lure to bait a trap, or it's very well
It's
likely
It's
cursed.
the worm from Star Wars in the planet. What was the name of that worm again?
The Sarlacc?
The Sarlacc. That was his tongue.
Sarlacc
As
hungry.
soon as you go down there,
Program still speaks of the classes that's Scott. I don't know his boss, his master has his master.
Scaparelli.
Yeah, he still has these
What
classes.
kind of classes for a school for children? You're saying Krampus is a school for children?
Wait a second. Why is that one child in that town?
It's the only one I know of.
What would he be doing there?
My guess, attending Krampus's class.
A class that teaches what?
I don't know.
Music class.
I've never attended it.
And it's a village filled of.
White wolves,
Ghosts.
presumably.
Really? Oh, that makes sense.
Oh, do you want to find this other child then? Let's go.
It's a better lead than this.
Okay.
Wait a minute. Wait. So we're going to ignore that Krampus as a school for children
That's where we're going.
in a town full of ghosts.
I think the children.
No, we're going.
We're going to Ghost Town to save a little kid.
Or maybe that.
Well, that sounds like a jolly and romp.
What are you scared?
No, always.
I am.
I travel with you, my friend. I'm always petrified.
So, does Thorgrim know the way? If so, lead on.
He says, I've never been through Black Ant Canyon, like I told you. I only came in here one time. I saw one black ant, and I went back the other way like a smart person.
Oh, you should have used the shield and cape trick.
Aha!
That was very, very useful. The shield and cape trick.
Had I only known that there was a shield and cape trick, I would have surely used it, but I did not know.
That was a nice game.
You see on the edge of your firelight two green eyes peering.
Yee-yah! Yip, 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 yip.
Steps out.
Yep, 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 yep.
It's one of the gnolls. Snarls.
Of course it is.
Who's a bad null? You are.
He gives you a nasty look.
Thorgrim.
Come here, puppy, and I'll shave your back.
They regenerate, it'll just grow back.
Boom, boom.
Oh, well, that's a good idea. We'll shave them every day. And when we have enough, we'll make it like into sleeping bags. And it'll be very cozy.
Just start your own first.
Just think of our business. We can make no
Thorgrim.
hair bags.
No hair sleeping bag.
Thorgrim
With a
holds his medallion, and he says, "Throck, come!" Throck like kind of sneers, and then cringes, and then almost against his will steps forward into the light. He's holding what looks like a paper envelope in his hand.
And the Academy Award winner is.
Yeah. I will take it then. He gives it to us.
You're not quite that close to him. He's about maybe 30 feet away.
Okay.
Let Thorgrim deal with it.
And he gives you the electric company. Here's a message for you, bub. Better read it fast.
Thorgrim says, "Come!" And Throck cringes and steps forward and comes and kind of in a cringing fashion comes forward. Thorgrim holds out his hand and Throck hands him the envelope and then takes it. Tears it open. Pulls out a piece of paper. It's actually a card.
Is it words? Hermel asks in fear.
He says, "It's for you."
Oh no.
Give me that.
Are they pictures?
He stares at you.
Eric
Really?
takes it and reads
I look
it.
at it.
Okay.
Are they pictures?
On the outside, it has what looks to you like an elegant-looking chicken scrawl.
It's worthless.
Eric grabs it and reads it.
It says, to Hermel and friends.
Okay, keep reading.
You open it?
Where's my name?
Right here.
Doesn't look anything like me.
Inside it says, you are cordially invited to the manor of Dr. Snylock
I hate
for
doctors.
dinner, conversation, and wine. Signed, Dr. Snylock.
Now, when you say chicken scratch, is it just badly written, or is
No,
it
it's elegant. It's
Hermel's
beautifully
can't
written
you can't
script.
read? I know you can.
Yeah.
No, it's not
Hermel's-
that I can't. I refuse to.
Yeah.
It serves no purpose.
He declines the offer
Okay.
to read.
All right.
In fact, to defeat him in battle, all you need to do is show him a letter.
Thorgrim, do you know who Dr. Snowlock is?
Yes, he's one of
He's Scarparelli's
No, he's one of Scarparelli's disciples.
And it's
And
for
now arch
Hormel.
enemy.
What's that?
It's an invitation from Dr.
Nylock.
Snylock to Hormel.
And my friends. My traveling companions.
What is your opinion of Snylock?
He's a gentleman.
Gentleman can be evil as well.
He's Dr. Snylock, for God's sake, fellows. Of course, he's very, very evil. He lives subterranean.
We shouldn't
The
judge.
best people don't.
Anybody would be evil.
Sorry,
A
Aaron.
name like that, be a name like that. I mean, imagine his mother naming that.
The subterranean doctor, what his name is Snylock, friends.
Where does Snylock call home? Is it far from here?
He says he says something to the knoll in a knollish sounding grunt, and the knoll responds with a grunt, nods its head up, and he says, "The knolls will lead us."
How
What is
far
it?
away is it?
By any chance, did Thorgrim go?
Yes.
I'm getting this.
How
Taking
far
it
a
over.
walk? Like 10 minutes, 20 minutes?
He makes another noise, and there's exchange of grunts, and Thorgrim says, "Half hour."
Are we going, fellows?
Might as well.
We are.
Wouldn't want to be rude. Or
We are.
Fine.
And and this is a minion of Scaparelli, you said.
no, he is a disciple who is now wants to take over. That's the way it works.
Oh, he's a capo that has basically grown larger than his station. Very good, very good.
Probably wants to get us on his side so he can use us to, knock down Scaparelli.
Those fellas often have cachets, of gold and jewels and such. Yes? No? Yeah, I'm just trying to look at the bright side.
Of life.
All right, so we go.
By the way, I tell them the story of the amethyst.
Right? Okay. What do you tell them?
And you
about?
look inside, right?
And how much it was valued at.
Okay.
But you looked inside, right? The hollow. You actually put your head in and looked what was in
Paul
there.
said
Couldn't
with
get my head
power.
in there. It was
You could not get your head in.
one big thing that was hollow.
But you couldn't pass it.
Huge.
Okay. You follow the knoll.
Follow the yellow brick. No.
Rock.
It skirts along this top of this defile. On the far side, there's a tree that's fallen over.
We're underground.
Yeah.
Right back.
So there's also black ants here. Is it looking in like a dead black ant or something?
Yes, it looks like a dead black ant.
Oh, very good. Does it look like it's does it look like it's rotting or fresh? Or
It looks like it's freshly rotting.
did it die recently or?
How will you tell?
I don't know. I've seen dead trees.
It's a tree.
I've seen trees that have been dead a while.
I will tell with herb lore.
Okay.
I know what a dead tree that's been dead for a while looks like. It's got rotting away.
Yes.
You have herblore.
I do.
Okay. Go check. Difficulty is a 3.
Successful.
Give him a point for a successful orb blower. Milo. You just rolled a successful orb blower.
Yes.
I'm writing all this down. I don't know how
Awesome.
many points. I'm just writing down
Yeah, just
all the things
difficulty.
that I
Okay,
don't
that's
know.
good. Okay, great. Yes. So you inspect the tree when you get up to it. The knoll is already halfway over. It's kind of dodging between the branches. You see that in this tree is what looks like one of those nests of a dead soul. Looks like a wasp hive that has been transformed into such from a human body. The expression on the face of the upper torso, the arms are missing, and the expression on the face is of utter and uncomprehendable agony.
Wait, as if the hive sucked out the force of the tree?
Yes, it
Like a
looks like
parasite?
that. Yeah, in fact, it looks like the hive itself has been brutally assaulted. You see dead wasps all around it.
So it happened recently because wasp flies aren't going to last very long, right?
Yes. So your skill with herblore and the combination of facts leads you to believe that this black ant has just recently died.
One of the gnolls killed it, or
No, the wasp
the
infestation.
wasp? So the wasps killed it.
Is there any like wasp nest around that we could see? Is that
Just the wasp nest that's in the tree. That's like it's fallen over, so it's at ground level right now.
can we see if there are any viable eggs in it or anything like that?
You could go poking around inside of it.
Because my plan, if we could take this back to the other ants, kind of toss it in there, let the wasps do our job.
I don't know how long it takes.
Well, we're going to be going this way.
I don't want to stay
And
here.
when the time comes for us to go that way, hopefully it's done.
How far does the gnoll just keep going? Is that waiting for us?
Yeah, but once you guys stop, the knoll is on the other side now. It stops.
Is the wasp hive? It was attacked. It was attacked.
What's that?
The wasp hive was attacked.
Yes.
With what? Was it sharp weapons or crushed?
Looks like it was hacked.
Hacked.
So something brought these things out.
Like pickaxes, like those big conehead creatures? Or they wouldn't mess with it.
No. Looks like maybe sliced with like something like that. Broadsword, maybe swords, sharp weapons.
Do you want do you want to investigate this more, or just follow the gnoll?
No, we're following the
Follow the
knoll.
knoll.
We
It always
have a
knows.
date with Dr. Snylock, don't you remember?
So okay, so we'll
You
Keep
get some
going.
prices, Dr. Fibes, guaranteed.
Well, this
Triple
time,
compass.
Lido is mapping the area.
Okay.
Is there any way like we can like take one of these wasps for later, like just like a dead
That's
one?
what I was.
Yeah, like but don't touch it with your hands. 'Cause I remember what happened to somebody else. So
I don't know how you remember that. It's another dimension.
I had a dream about some guy touching it. That's why. So yeah, if we can like use a bagger or something to push it into some cloth and wrap up a wasp or something, or you just want the whole nest?
Well, I'm thinking if there are any viable wasp eggs in there,
Yeah.
Maybe we can use that to infest.
What if they hatch when it's with us?
Well,
Is the wasp nest human size or just in the shape of a human?
It's human size.
That's what I was hoping to find the eggs and maybe, put them in a bag.
I was just wanting a wasp for if something I identify it. Tell us what it is. If we could find a way to keep a wasp for identification later, can we do that?
Actually, a wasp might make a good weapon too, because if it's as big a wasp as I'm thinking it is.
Well, how big are the wasps,
Let's continue, shall we?
Mark?
We're off
How
to
big?
Yeah.
About
they're
the size
regular
of your
ones.
thumb.
They're big wasps. I was assuming it was giant.
No, no.
Does that work?
We have a date with the good doctors.
I'll pick one up on the wings and like put it in my pocket or something.
Okay. You have a dead wasp in your pocket.
Your arm starts to itch.
All right.
Delvin, chop it up.
I'll wrap it up.
On the other side of the tree, on the other embankment, is the knoll. It's looking impatient and looking around.
Okay, we'll go. We'll follow.
Okay. When you get to the other side, you see what looks like on the in some like ferns and moss and lichen or rocks, and you see a very peculiar looking plant growing there.
What makes it peculiar?
Well, it looks like it's got a 1 foot tall black stem with a branches coming out that are bright red and end in circular white globes with black dots on them.
Thank you.
I hope it's not black lotus.
They're probably like puffballs. Just send out
You
spores.
can know what it is.
I'm not gonna even wonder.
No, you
Do I identify it?
Yeah.
Do I know what it is? I don't think so.
Well, you can try.
Use that herb lore, baby.
You can try using the herb lore to see if you might have ever heard of anything like this. Difficulty is a 6.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Whoa!
Okay.
Skill is a 6.
Okay, fine. This is called a Dolus eyes plant.
Is that all we know?
It's actually extremely rare, magical in nature, and the eyes on the ends of each of these little red stalks can see.
I'm guessing this is a sentry of some sort.
You notice that the little black dots on each of the white bulbs are looking in your direction.
I wave.
It doesn't do anything. It's just
I say, Dr. Snylock, I presume.
okay. There's no answer.
How's the Noah acting around?
It doesn't seem to notice it.
So he's not concerned by it.
Is it the only plant in here?
No, there are other plants,
Different
but this
from
one
this?
is odd.
This
This
is
one
only-
stands out as standing out as odd. The other ones are odd because they're plants underneath the
Yeah.
ground. There's moss, there's lichen, there's these kind of scrabbly.
Are any
ferns.
of them luminous? The underground plants?
Well, there's a patch of plants that also look odd, but not nearly as odd as this one, and they have thick brown stems and a ball on top that looks like kind of like an artichoke, but with smaller leaves. You want to?
I wonder if those here.
Okay, but
Now, those are the ones that change your personality.
no, but you didn't answer my question. Are any of the plants down here luminous? Do any of them give any bioluminescence?
You don't see it. No, you don't
Okay.
see any luminous plants. There is this other odd-looking plant. It's another one that's unusual.
Have you ever heard of this plant, Mr. Green Thumbs?
Yeah, Mr. Green Jeans, check this
You're
out.
gonna
why don't
level,
you?
dude, just from looking up all these plants.
You're gonna level up by looking at plants with your herb lore. Man,
That's a typical Herman move.
difficulty 5.
Success.
I love it when the GM has to look.
Okay. Yes, this is another very rare plant, but one that is a little more well known, called the sun plant. It populates underground caverns. If you touch it, its leaves will unfurl and it will emit a sun-like light.
There you go, Delvin. Just what you wanted. This is your light source.
Are there more than one?
There's 5 of them.
I'm going
Does
to
that sound-
harvest them.
But does that sunlight light like have heat?
Who cares?
As soon as he touches it, I
Melts
look
your
away.
face. You want to care?
It's like all of the light of the entire sun emanating from one planet. You know, so it will fry your entire planet if you just touch it.
That's what I thought.
You don't know. I mean,
And I
you've
haven't
never
touched the
actually
bulb
seen
yet.
one
I'm
before.
just cutting them off at the stem.
Okay, you cut it off of the stem. Within a few moments, you notice that it starts wilting.
Yeah, I figured cutting or something.
Oh. I'm going to touch the bulb on one.
What's that?
I'm going to touch the end on one.
Okay, you touch the end. It unfurls. It's kind of a slow process, but it like begins to unfurl, and you see like a kind of soft, reddish orange glow from inside. And as this, kind of turns as it's unfurling, and the leaves open up, and it becomes brighter and brighter.
And I can use it like a torch?
What's that?
Can I use it like a
Well, you
torch?
can't. I think if you pull it off, you kill it. You gotta leave it where it is. Because you just cut one and it died, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, but I cut one. That's how I know it withers.
right.
So the one that I cut, can I use it as a torch?
Oh, you mean that's the one? I thought you meant you touch one that's on the ground.
No, I cut the one that's withering.
Oh,
The one
okay.
that's starting
So
to
it
wither.
starts to glow, and then it kind of fades.
It doesn't even last like
You killed it.
5 minutes.
Yeah, you kind of killed it.
Oh, I thought this was going to be good, like glow sticks.
No, they stay with. They're like little floor lights. What's the eye plant doing? Is it following us with its eyes?
Yeah, actually, you think it is. You don't see it moving, but when you look over at it, the little black, pupils are facing in your direction.
Well, we want to light
Thorgrim
light
mentions,
light
he
them.
says, these sun plants keep the trolls at bay.
Well, we just killed one.
Who said that?
Thorgrim. Yeah. The trolls don't come into this cavern.
Because the light of the sun will turn the stone.
Yeah, they avoid it like the plague. There are trolls in these caverns, but not
You
where
don't
the sun
say.
plants are.
No, literally, you don't say. You should really talk more. Like before
Have
we.
you seen a troll before?
Of course.
Have you trolled this area?
Is that supposed to be a joke?
I'm a dwarf. I don't joke.
What can you tell us about the trolls?
What can I tell you about them? They're meaner, nastier, bigger, and more deadly
Then what?
than a bear.
How are they in comparison to the gnolls?
Bigger, meaner.
That
Not
just,
more
necessarily
deadly.
nasty.
that just means I can wear a troll skin over my back.
Well,
He
here's an
kind of
opposing
like,
question.
you reminded him of
Those
his
were my
bear
friend.
skin. He
Here's-
kind of like brushes it off. He's like, I like this bear skin, I have to say. It may smell bad, but it seems to suit me.
That's right.
Thorgrim, I've got to ask, like these trolls regenerate if you damage them.
Yes, they're very, very hard to kill.
Oh, I don't thought they might.
Do they carry weapons? Maybe they're the ones who killed the ants. Well, they don't come because of the plant. They don't come through.
No, they don't come into this cavern.
I'm betting that Snylock or his henchmen killed this nest.
Snarlock sounds just like the type of name of a fellow who would have henchmen.
Well, let's go meet.
Or
this,
maybe his associates.
Maybe he's using this plant to spy on us right now.
Yes, he is.
Okay, you guys continue on your merry way. Alrighty. You come to a flight of stairs that goes down the side of a ravine, and the knoll's making his way down the side, down these stairs. The stairs are made out of cut stone. They look old and worn, and at the bottom, by the torchlight, you can see the glittering of water.
Eric, let me ask you, these cut stones that we're traveling down, can you recognize the workmanship? Is it Peck workmanship?
Yeah.
I'm trying
They're
to figure
so
out because
old, they're so worn, it looks like they've been here. Well, no, you don't think so. Dwarven dimensions for stairs are smaller than these stairs.
So would that not be?
It might have been the
that
pecs.
makes-
No, it might have been the
Pecs
pecs. The
big?
pecs are larger than dwarves.
Oh, okay. So you're saying dwarves would be small?
Yeah, dwarven stairs tend to be smaller in height to accommodate the short, stumpy legs.
But it looks
Maybe
shoddy
peckish.
workmanship.
Nope, not shoddy, just old, real
But compared
old.
to dwarven, it's
Yeah.
shoddy. Let's just be
If you say so, but
So I go down the stairs.
okay, you get to the bottom, and there's a brook.
Is it babbling?
It is babbling. There's a babbling brook.
it's Brooke Hogan.
Yeah. Up ahead, you can see that there's, it kind of follows along the base of this stream, and then there's another flight of stairs that goes up.
I'm stepping where the knoll's stepping.
Right. Okay. So the knoll just passes by. On the other side of the stream, you see embedded in the muck and the mire.
Ishkinder.
No, you don't see his card here, although he may well be embedded in the muck and the mire. But no, you see what looks like a large, really large, like table-sized shell, like an oyster shell.
Something to ignore, even though there's probably a pearl in it.
It's mine. It's mine.
We'll come back to that. We'll come back to that later.
Okay.
Right, Delvin?
I'm gonna peek in when everybody's passing by.
All right. Everybody passes by. Delvin, you see on the other side of this brook this enormous oyster shell.
Oh, it's on the other side of this brook.
Yes.
Huh?
Yeah.
As in a lure to a trap. It's like, huh? Gotta save children. Gotta save children.
Rah, rah, rah.
Really? Seriously?
I think you want to.
Okay. Hey, let me not try to influence your decisions.
The
I am
GM
only here
writes
to
this
narrate the
second
environment.
Taunt on valuable items that the
I
GM
know.
is just throwing it.
Gotta save.
It
children.
makes you a better person,
Save the
though.
children.
He's just
Must save the children.
he's gonna get a bite sooner or later.
You saw me trying to save them in the room with the flutes. I'm trying to save the bloody children.
Right. Okay, so you go up the stairs, and on the other side, up at the top, you see a wooden bridge that
I'll just
crosses
ask
over the
Thorgrim
brook.
if he's ever seen that shell before as he passed by. Has he ever come this way before? Thorgrim?
Oh, Thorgrim, you ask him. Thorgrim says, "No, I've never been this way before.
He doesn't care about the shell either.
No, I don't care about the shell."
Okay.
He's an NPC.
I get my Hermel draws his bow.
Yes.
So just making it abundantly clear that my bow is out.
Right. Okay, everybody notices that you pulled out your bow and have drawn it.
Pull out my weapon.
Hermel says-
Do you knock an arrow in it?
Yes. Hermel says, it's quiet. Too quiet.
You might have a point. I get my axe out.
Okay. There's actually ahead. There is a wooden bridge.
Is it rickety?
It is rickety.
Oh, yes.
It crosses the brook.
Well,
Grasshopper, are you extraordinarily nimble?
extraordinarily, but how's the knoll doing on the bridge? Is he going over the bridge?
He goes over the bridge.
And the nose are big, right?
They're hefty, stocky
And when he
guys.
goes over
wearing
the
heavy
bridge,
armor.
does it creak or just does it?
Yeah, it creaks.
Wide enough for one, or
Wide enough for two.
Well, I think we should go one at a time. Anyway.
I just want to know how big it is in case
Right.
we get sandwiched in between.
I'll go across, but I'm going to hold on to the side ropes really strong. firmly in case the bridge snaps or something.
Okay.
Is it a rope bridge or?
It's a wooden bridge.
Okay.
Oh, it's a wooden bridge.
It just looks old.
Okay.
Does it have handrails or is it?
Yeah, it actually, I mean, it looks like once upon a time it was actually a pretty well constructed bridge.
Well, it's still up to code.
Are you walking? I assume you walk over it.
No, he's
Okay.
walking over.
Okay.
I'll walk over.
Okay, Grasshopper, you're walking over it. You notice that the bridge in past times was in better shape, and it has carvings of various kinds of animals along the rails and the posts.
What kind of animals?
Bears, lions, dragons.
Oh my.
Okay.
Okay.
Is there a particular style that I would recognize? Or?
Well, artistic, you would say.
I mean,
as-
Northern Ongar style.
Like if I saw carvings now, these look like Greco-Roman. These.
you don't recognize it.
Are you an artist or?
No, I'm saying you can. I don't know. In our world, if I saw
Yeah, you'd know it's in American Indian.
Yeah,
et cetera. You don't recognize it.
okay,
Just looks artistic to your eye.
right.
Okay, so you cross over the bridge, and Thorgrim is on the other side. The knoll's already, scrambling up some rocks up a trail.
I'll go.
Seems safe to
Okay.
me, fellows.
Okay,
I'll
as
go.
you guys cross the bridge.
Oh yeah, I'll traipse.
Okay, you notice on the other side of the bridge that whatever mist was clinging in the air is gone. That whole area that you were in the entire time had various, mists here and there clinging to the rocks or, all over the place. There's
Like
mist. It
low-hanging
became,
cloud type thing?
yeah, kind of. I mean, the mist actually was permeating the entire area.
Wafting throughout.
Yeah, but it gathered into,
Was it the blue mist you're talking about?
yeah, you think so. I mean, it's hard to distinguish the exact color, but yeah, I mean, it all looked like part of that blue mist.
Okay.
Hey,
Now it's
Barbara,
gone, you're saying.
where's your other knoll?
Skulking, undoubtedly, somewhere in the vicinity.
Behind us, waiting for us to slip up.
Could well be. I wouldn't be surprised.
Now, but you're saying the mist is gone now, which is
Yeah, on the other side of this bridge. Yeah, it's now the air feels clear.
okay.
You do notice that there's a purplish glow, kind of ahead of you on the far side of what looks like some hills, but it's kind of in the background. It's the only light that you see that's other than just pitch inky blackness. But it's very, very light. It's hardly noticeable, but
How bad
Who
can
knows?
purple be?
Yeah, it's not blue.
Wasn't there a
relatively
purple
harmless.
vortex, recently that's almost swallowed up Wingsaka and Dr. Jones?
You didn't see that.
But was there the gem was purple, wasn't
You may have dreamed.
it? The amethyst you saw was
But Eric saw it.
No.
Bantam saw it.
no.
Yeah, Bantam.
They're in another group.
I think purple is clearly
But what the gem you saw was purple, yes.
It almost looks to you like it's a twilight. On the other
amethyst,
side of
he's
some
asking
hills.
what color the amethyst
Gives you the
is.
impression of being like a twilight on a horizon.
Oh, okay.
what's this guy's name again? Dr.
Snylar.
Snylock. Yeah, this is Snylock's color. It shows his territory. It's very simple.
He lends
Let's go.
money. He's a Snylock.
It's not an unnatural purple, like some kind of purple you've seen before when dust comes out.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
unnatural.
It's you don't. I mean, you're in a cavern.
Dude, it is
It's not-
70s.
it's not
it's
entirely-
70s stoner blacklight poster black.
Something like that. Yeah,
That's what it is.
it's very, very deep, but it's very. You get the sense it's very distant, and it's just like kind of on the horizon, or it looks like a twilight. You can see basically you see the silhouette of some hills, and beyond that silhouette is this very faint purple glow. That's what's highlighting the fact that you can see the silhouette of the hills.
Okay.
If it weren't for that, you probably wouldn't even notice the purple.
Well, we're still following.
Right. So you scramble up some rocks. There's like a kind of stony trail, and you enter into a pine wood forest.
What?
Okay. Now, do I still see stone above my head, or is there sky?
No, you don't see sky. It's still pitch black.
take a step back. Are we still in the cavern? Did we switch realms or something?
No, you are, as far as you know, you're still in the cavern. You do notice that these pine trees aren't swaying at all. They don't look like they're moving at all. And,
Are the branches like close enough where we can just see them at eye level?
yeah,
And they look like normal pine trees we've seen?
They look like
No.
fabulous carvings
When
by
you bring-
dwarven masters.
it looks actually, when you get closer to them with the torch, they look like they're made of stone.
Is this a thick forest of stone trees?
Not thick forest.
It's
It's
an
what you
ironwood
call
forest.
a line. Yeah, maybe you'd call it a light forest, not thick forest.
All right, so how far apart are
More
the
like
trees
a
on
grove.
average?
It looks like a grove.
Okay, how far apart are the trees then? Every 15 feet?
Yeah,
20 feet?
10, 15 feet.
Also, there's like a needle on I'll pull one off. Just one of the trees. See if I can pick off a needle on one of these stone trees.
It crumbles.
Like just like dust.
Well, yeah, like like rock that's just
So
been
is this
there.
like a
too
tree
long.
that's been petrified, or is this
I
like a great
yeah.
work of art?
I mean,
Yeah.
petrified.
Did his arm
trees,
turn to
they're-
stone?
they're
It
needles
looks
wouldn't
like
be there, it would
petrified.
just be-
It looks like they've been petrified.
Like
I draw my sword and I watch his arm.
Does it turn to stone?
When you look on,
Like
we
Hellboy?
can't go on. Keep on telling us the-
No, but it just crumbles in your hand and
Okay.
kind of just turns into little pebbles.
Okay.
All right, I'll put my bow back in a ready position.
Okay. The trail goes through this grove of petrified pine trees.
I wonder what
I'll
would
ask
happen if
Thorgrim.
we would have just pushed one of the trees over.
Since Thorgrim only asks when prodded, I'll ask Thorgrim if he knows anything about these.
It's called a stone forest. It's been here a long time, longer than I can remember.
Were you ever up top, Thorgrim?
Long time ago.
Where? Shoot, Thorgrim. What's he doing? Why is he reaching behind his shirt?
Scratching his hump.
He's scratching underneath his
That bear cloak is
yeah,
itchy.
his bear cloak. He's scratching under his bear cloak. Come on, give the guy a break. Looks like he's reviving some bad memories.
Where he was whipped. What was the whipping scars?
He doesn't look too happy about it. He says, I've been around.
You should come to Yellow Clay
Why should I come to Yellowwood?
because it's growing.
The hookers are cheap there.
I'll be there. Next time I get a chance, I'll drop by your village. Okay. You make your way to a flight of stairs that goes up. At the top of these stairs, there's a wall capped with pillars and finely carved stones.
You know, I guess when you live underground, you got nothing better to do than, oh, sorry. Now I get it, though. Now I get it. I totally get it.
What the hell else is there to do?
Yeah. What you doing today,
My
boy?
mom walked into my room and caught me playing with my rock.
Just carving some stone, Ma.
It's so smooth.
You come to a wall at the top of a flight of stairs.
Looking for secret
Granol
entrance.
is making his way along the wall, comes to a gate, goes into the gate, goes through. It's an open portal with an iron gate. The iron gate is open. You guys go through, and you're in a large courtyard.
Okay, still
You can see
pitch
that
black
there's-
up this far when I look up.
What's that? It's still pitch black.
Can we see the
At
top of
most
the
you-
cavern?
No, you can't really. I mean, occasionally you catch a glimpse of what looks like the tips of giant stalagmites hanging from the ceiling.
All right.
I don't know why, but I think we're going to see a flash of lightning to illuminate where he lives.
That would be cool.
It'll be a Tesla ball.
There's a manor. You're in a courtyard. The courtyard has cobblestone ground, a fountain in the center. On the other side is a beautiful looking manor.
Nice hedges.
No hedges. No, just walls, statues.
No.
There's beautiful
curb
statues.
appeal. No curb appeal as far as plants or anything like
There are plants. There's a garden, but it's more of the those
Eye plants.
eye plants. There's a bunch of sun plants and there's ferns, and it looks like a rock garden. It's like beautifully landscaped.
It's like what's the culturist? Morticia Adams.
that. Exactly.
The door opens, the light comes out, and there is a handsome-looking man with a tall white wig, wearing a light blue blazer and a frilly,
Ascot.
kind of vest. I don't know what those are called, but
Let's call it a poofy.
a poofy.
A poofy shirt.
Yes, he's wearing a poofy shirt with poofy arms, and
Oh, do come in! Do come in!
he doesn't act like that.
No?
He's somber looking, and
And
he bows.
He's like a Salieri.
He bows.
You know?
He says,
Oh, okay. Now I got it.
is he like young, old, middle?
He's wearing a white
How's he
wig.
going?
You can't tell.
"Oh, yeah, it's a little hard to tell, but he looks young by his face." He holds out his hand. He says, "Your invitation."
Here you go.
Okay, he takes it. He opens it. He looks, and he says, "Come this way."
Oh, he's just a footman or
Her belt.
He doesn't
We all
really-
walk this
He doesn't
way.
walk like that.
As I walk by, I go, "Rock me, Amadeus."
You come into this manor. There's an entranceway that leads into an open room with a table. There's a flight of stairs going up to a landing. There's double doors on the left. There's an old grandfather clock also next to the double doors.
Is it working?
Yes.
What time?
What time does it say on the clock?
It says 5 minutes to midnight.
Is Hermel like, are clocks commonplace or only the wealthy have them?
Only the wealthy have them.
Just
5 minutes
piece
to
of art.
midnight. Remember? Do you remember?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Oh, trust me, this guy knows him.
The butler leads you to the double doors, and he says, Dr. Snylock is expecting you. And he knocks on the double doors. You hear a voice that says, "Come in, come in."
What?
He opens the doors, and there you can see a beautiful drawing room. There's a table, there's food on the table, there's wine, there's various seatings like couches and chairs, a bureau, a wine cabinet, a bar.
This would have been a perfect place for Ishikandar.
It's lit by a fire, and a beautiful ornate fireplace.
Do we have to roll this
There's
back
land.
because my bow was still out? Did the butler make mention of it, or?
No, but I didn't
Yeah,
kind of perceive that
lost.
you're walking around this place with your
No,
bow
it's still
pointing
out, but it's not like.
I have my axe.
Okay,
Cocked.
then he doesn't say anything about it.
Okay.
Yes, Dr. Snylock, stands up and he says, "Come in, come in."
How's Dr.
Comes to the
Tom?
door. He
What's
says, "You must be Hermel."
What does
Hello.
the doctor look like?
He withdraws his hand from shaking. He says, "And you must be Eric." Okay, nice to meet you. And you, I'm sorry,
Can you, what does he look like?
I stick my hand up.
What is he?
Delvin Plummer, sir. Please,
nice to
your
meet
doctor.
you, Mr. Plummer.
I've a burning question I've been meaning to ask.
Can you describe what he looks like, please?
Hold on. Yes, a burning question.
No, describe it, please.
He's an elderly gentleman with silver hair, very neatly arrayed. He's got a pair of wire rimmed glasses, a goatee, and is wearing a black suit with a white shirt, and looks, by your guess, rather conservative.
A good guy.
Well, there's just one thing I must know. Is that a doctor, or a doctor, a dentist?
The only other doctor I met was a Dr. Lowe.
Ah, so yes,
They know each
you,
other.
What about
you know
Dr.
Dr.
Smith?
Loeb, I take it.
You met Dr. Smith?
No.
I will tell him.
Okay.
I'll ask him how he knows of these two.
He says, this region is not as big as you might think offhand. Word gets around. I heard your group was
He
making their
answered my
way
question.
through. I'm sorry, I ignored you completely. What was your question?
Are you a doctor, a dentist?
A doctor.
Medical.
Or PhD.
So,
He says, I'm a scientist.
Oh.
what do you study?
Well, among other things, I study geology.
Very interesting geology in this place.
Certainly is. He says, but tell me about yourselves. Please have a seat, and allow me to entertain you with food and drink. You must be tired from your journey.
I really appreciate this approach, but I'm just a matter-of-fact sort of person.
Yes?
I'm here for the children that were stolen from Yellow Clay.
Children that were stolen from Yellow Clay.
There's two left, right?
And I really don't have time to sit down and have a meal and chat. So I was wondering if you could help me or us find them so that we could be on our way.
Oh, I see.
Perhaps
Well,
we'll return another time.
what's that?
What's Thorgrim doing while all this is
Thorgrim's just kind of looking around, just kind of eyeing things.
So it looks like he's never been here before, basically.
I would
think
take
so.
some of this good food and be putting some of it in my pocket, actually. I mean, it looks like
A
it
chicken
looks-
leg, perhaps?
well, it looks like he's going to spoil our chances for dinner.
Some Brussels sprouts?
So I'm just going to actually grab a little something.
He's doing the opposite.
A
Grabbing
loaf of
food. He's
bread.
gonna order into the bar. Boom, boom.
Oh, yeah. No doubt about that. I mean, there is no doubt. What about Lido? What's Lido do?
Lido is he's taking it all in. He's just he mapped out the
I
whole
forgot he was
area,
with us.
and well, he's being very quiet.
Well, he has been mapping the whole time.
Yeah, Lido is a hobbit.
And,
He's naturally quiet.
right, and he's just trying to see.
There's succulent food on the table. You've just been offered. You're a hobbit,
Well,
damn
that's
it.
true. This is Lido, and he's So he's a little.
He's peckish.
Yeah,
Come
he's
on.
always
You've been
there.
underground for what? Like days?
Yeah, so Lido's gonna
Nothing
want
like
to.
a peck.
Yeah, he wants to.
Well, I'll watch him eat, and if he doesn't keel over, then I'll help myself.
So you see Lido's kind of sidle
Okay.
right up.
Okay, fine. I'll assume Lido enjoys the repast. Meanwhile, Hermel. Yes, so he suggests that perhaps you could talk about it, but he says I don't necessarily have anything right off the top to offer you. I need to know more. Why don't we have a seat?
Well, you called us. You wanted to meet with
Conversation.
us. What is your purpose with us? Certainly not just to feed us and pamper us.
Well, I caught wind that you were traveling through this area. I know how dangerous it can be. I thought that perhaps if you wished, you might be able to come here, perhaps learn a little bit, and we might exchange
And then
knowledge.
we tell you what we want, and then you tell us what you want. And then we go about making both of us happy.
Well, certainly.
Can we get to that?
Eric slams his axe down on the floor and says, "Let's cut to the chase. Who's
Oh.
Scaparelli to you?"
Aha. Yes. Well, Scaparelli. Yes. Scaparelli is my patron.
Are you and your patron, how you say, getting on, or is there a bridge over troubled waters?
No, we get along just fine. He supports my research, and I.
Eric starts to
Conduct-
sharpen his axe. Shh.
Well, okay.
He's asking you.
You know,
No, but
I
he's
know
just-
you
he's looking
types.
at him.
if you just give us back our kids, we'll be on our way.
I would give you back your kids if I could, but I don't have them. They're not
Do you know who
here.
has them?
Well, there are rumors that there's a school in a town called Whitewood that's not that far from here.
What do they teach in this school?
Interestingly enough, they teach science.
Oh, are you a science teacher at this school, sir? Headmaster, perhaps?
No.
Headmaster ritual?
No, I'm not a teacher at that school.
Do they teach music classes? I'll tell them about the vision we saw.
Ah, very interesting. Yes, well, yes, I would imagine that they do teach music there. Philosophy, music, theory of science,
Are these children go?
metaphysics.
Oh,
Sounds like a wonderful place. Why do you need to abduct children to teach them?
I wouldn't know. I'm not familiar with Dr. Crumpus's methods
Dr. Crumpus.
or his motivations.
And is he a doctor, a dentist?
I believe he's a doctor of philosophy.
That should be interesting.
so what can we do for you? And what can you do for us?
Well, as for me, I didn't invite you here with the idea that you could do something for me. I was more extending an invitation to you in the hopes that I might be able to help you on your way in some way.
That's
Why,
very
is our-
generous
is
of you to help
is
us this way.
is our presence in the vicinity something of a fly in your buttermilk, sir?
Well, you might say that it's a fly in the ointment in some ways. That's always possible. There are actually dangerous things down here. If you tip the wrong stone the wrong way, you could create a landslide, so to say.
You know, I'll allow myself to be diverted for a moment. These dark trees with the sinister wasp nests on them.
I'll take out a wasp patrol.
He's fascinated. He takes out a monocle, little magpie, and he's like, "Oh, really? Do you mind if I?"
Please.
Let's examine and put something. It's fascinating. That's really quite interesting.
It was only like a short walk past the brook and the bridge.
Ah, yes, past the brook. I don't go past the brook.
Is
There's
that
a whole world out there.
A whole new world.
Is the plant with the eyes? Is that your doing, or the light sun plants keep the trolls away? Is that your doing?
No. Those are horticultural phenomenon of this cavern. They've been there for eons.
Well, one is dead.
Oh,
No, I don't tell them that. I don't know.
Only one grows every 1,000 years.
something like that. It
Who needs
says,
this kid up? We've got it.
he does drop mention of that kind of information. He says, yes, the plants are very rare. They're incredibly valuable. They take ages and ages for them to spawn.
I bite my tongue really hard.
It's like they're an absolute fascination of the entire
I'm eating a
scientific world.
sandwich. I'm stuffing a sandwich in my
Got finger
face.
food going on here.
That's right. Wait, does the dead sun plant fall out of your pocket at all?
No, never.
just checking.
I'm hoping.
Just checking. Okay. So yes, he's fascinated by the wasp. He says, "Well, yes, this is quite fascinating. And where did you find it?"
By the dead end, by the where by the before we descended.
You mean on the other side of the brook?
Yes.
That would explain it. There's the brook itself forms a kind of barrier between this realm and the realm of Whitewood.
Okay. And what can you tell of the ants? Are they just naturally there? Or somebody's placed them?
No, no, there's nothing natural about the other side of the brook.
Didn't.
Well, tell us would you mind telling us what you know?
Well, I'm afraid my knowledge of that realm is rather scanty, but it's a dangerous place.
Who would have hacked the ant to death?
That I wouldn't know. I can't imagine. But there are creatures there that I'm certain could do it. It's a mystical realm, I believe. So I've heard. I don't really quite believe the rumors myself, being a scientist. I don't believe in that sort of thing. But
How did you end up down here? How long have you been moving?
my research, of course.
Did the
How
servant
long?
leave by now?
The servant's standing at the door.
Because Lila wants to like kind of look around
Okay.
and see if anything catches his little.
This little greedy eye.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll let you know. There are things around. There's no doubt.
How long have you been living? Have you built this manor?
The silverware is quite nice.
Shiny.
I'm sorry.
How long have you been living here, and have you built this manor?
Well, I've been living here for, I'd say about 12 years now. And no, I did not build the manor. It's Scaparelli's manor, in fact. I'm more a resident here than an owner.
Where did he bring you here? Did you find this?
No, he brought me here.
Where were you before this?
I lived in a town of Hobbington.
Hobbington's. I'm sorry to step out again. Hobbington's all ruins now, or what?
No, Hobbington is a
We know
thriving, if not overpopulated,
Oh, okay.
mountain town.
It's the go-to spot.
So
He says, and may I ask where you're from?
I am from above.
I will tell him.
I assumed as much.
I will tell him I'm from Yellow Clay. I'm not telling them they are. I'll tell them I'm from Yellow.
Aha, I see. And have you ever been to Hobbington? Aha. I take it you've been to Hobbington.
Oh yeah.
I see. Well, you might have met my cousin, Mr. Snylock. He's a doctor also.
Did I ever hear of him?
Yes.
Really?
You've met him.
Is he a doctor, or
He's
doctor,
a
or
doctor.
dentist?
He's a medical doctor.
The clone? The Jeremy clone?
Around that time, you met Dr. Snylock.
Oh, wow.
That's right. That's right.
Okay. There was another doctor.
Aha, yes. So
That's
you,
right.
he's my cousin. Dr. Snylock, yes, he lives there. I haven't seen him in quite some time. If you do manage to go back, I hope you will tell him I said hello and wish him well.
Cut him off at the knees.
I believe he's the medical doctor at the Adventurers Guild last time I heard.
You know, this is really pleasant, but I'm in a rush. And the
Yes.
truth of the matter is,
Children of Hobbington.
Scarparelli is an evil, evil man who's abducted children.
Wait a
And
second.
I
Hold
want
on.
these
I'm
children
not sure
back.
you have your facts straight
So
here.
you are either
Hold on.
not
If
knowledgeable
you
of
would,
this
sir.
or part of the problem.
Sir, if you would. Scaparelli, I do not believe, is the one who is kidnapping children. I think you mean Dr. Crumpus.
He's a doctor of philosophy.
Thorgrim, who do you work for?
Thorgrim says, I work for Scaparelli. You know that. I told you that.
So how did you end up with the one that was Scott Pirelli give you that bag with the child in it?
What?
Didn't he came with the child in a bag, didn't he? No.
No,
Thorgrim? No.
No, okay. But
but he came with the agreement to fight him for one of the children.
Oh.
Right. So, as far as you guys understand what Thorgrim told you, the guy Fabian in the red cloak and the red hat came from Krampus.
Okay.
Krampus sent that guy to make a deal with you guys, but Hermel said no.
Okay.
The next guy was sent by Scarparelli. That was Thorgrim.
Okay.
He was sent to make a combat in exchange for a child with you.
Okay.
So Scarparelli has access to the trophies. So perhaps he's using them in his studies, but he doesn't care where they come from, which makes him evil, by the way.
Well, I don't believe that Scarparelli does have access to the children. Why do you think so?
Because he just offered us a child through Thorgrim here.
Well, Thorgrim, tell me, did you offer them a child? Thorgrim says, no, that's not what I said. I said I knew where their children were, and I do. They're up in, or at least one of them is up in Whitewood.
Then why would you even interact with us at all?
Scarparelli sent me to.
To what end?
Who knows? Scarparelli's ways are
So
beyond my understanding.
So what do you feel about this Krampus fellow?
I have no idea. I don't care.
No, not you. I'm sorry. I'm addressing
Snylock.
Ah, yes. Yes, I'm sorry. I believe,
So you and Scarparelli are at odds with Krampus? Do you have any dealings with him at all?
I have no direct dealings with Krampus at all. No. Scarparelli and Krampus are adversaries. And as Mr. Scarparelli is my patron, I have no dealings with Mr. Krampus at all.
Thorgrim, you really have to, just talk. Just, say what's on your mind.
So how can you help us get to Whitewood?
Well, I believe I could at the least offer you perhaps a safer way to go than through Black Ent Canyon, which is probably the most dangerous possible way you might try to approach Whitewood.
By the way,
Safer way sounds better to me.
Hermel will take a seat and start eating ravenously. I suggest we all leave because apparently we're being used to accomplish something and they don't want us dead by then.
Okay.
Yeah, I have been eating.
Okay. Well, the food is really, really delicious, and you guys haven't eaten in a while.
Lido
So.
is
Lido's his cheeks are like chipmunk cheeks.
I will thank our host. I will thank our gracious host for the food.
No, don't. We'll pay for it later.
I already did. I already told him here.
Does Lido see anything cool? Anything interesting?
Well, the silverware is awful nice. I would imagine a few forks have disappeared by now.
Mhm.
There's cabinets with, various kinds of twinkling things, and
Each one trapped.
there's, the room has desks on it. He catches out of the corner of his eye the glinting of a silver filigree pen that's on a desk that looks quite exotic.
Is the servant looking his way?
The servant is watching everything.
So you can see me.
He is watching. Yes, he's watching the room. He's paying careful attention, presumably waiting for the slightest command for him to, to do something.
If I notice him getting squirrely, I'll say, treat our host with graciousness. He's treating us the same. I will not let you steal.
Well, you don't know I'm stealing. I'm looking around.
You got that shifty look in your eyes. Come on, you little
I'm
hobbit.
chewing.
We know you're a
I
type.
spill my wine on the carpet.
Okay,
I'll ask
the waiter comes.
That'll never come out.
the servant looks shocked. He's like, "Oh,
It's 10,000 gold. You'll have to work here for 1,000,000 years.
He gets up and resolve.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask Snylock how his research is going. What has he discovered? He's been at it for 12 years.
And what are you researching?
He's a
Geology.
geomancer of some
What?
sort.
He says, among other things.
What is geo?
Geo? Geo means the earth.
I could have told you that.
He's a rock
Well, you
scientist,
could have.
which means if he's working for Scarparelli has some mining interest in the area. Or perhaps there's some kind of earth elemental magic that he wants or something horrible. But most likely mining, because that's what people come to the yellow clay for? Isn't it? Isn't there certain mining things that they're here for?
They come for the yellow stink rock.
So what does he say for himself?
Well,
Does he
he's
answer
just
my
listening
question?
to you, fellas.
No, I'm waiting for his answer.
Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't. I was distracted. What was your question?
So how's your research going after 12 years?
Well, it's going quite well, I'd say. It's very fascinating. The discoveries that we've made, and
Oh, do enlighten us, sir. We enjoy the fascinating world of the scientific mind.
oh, really? Ah, are you a scientist yourself, by chance?
I'm an archaeologist.
An archaeologist, no doubt. That's wonderful. Archaeology is fascinating, absolutely fascinating.
I find it intriguing.
You must have seen some rather interesting artifacts on your way through the caverns by now. I would
Oh, I've
imagine.
seen some things. Yes, why?
Mel's getting sleepy.
But your research, sir. Enough about me. I'm such an amateur by such standards. I'm not a doctor.
Well, he says, I'm afraid I can't really tell you very much about our research
Highlights,
because it's
highlights.
proprietary information that is owned by by Mr. Scarparelli. I'm not at liberty to discuss. But since you're interested, I could tell you a little bit about what we're working on, which is so fascinating.
What do you think you can tell a dwarf about rocks
Well,
that I haven't already heard?
yes, come to think of it, probably not very much, I would imagine.
But meanwhile, back at Muppet Laboratories, tell me, Professor Honeydew, highlights, sir. Enlighten, please.
Right. So, he says that they're working on a interesting methodology for transporting through living rock. He looks at you. He says, "You've heard of our research?
Heard of it? I do it.
You do it?
Yes.
It?
You see the squish on my chest.
Yeah, we traveled that way recently. That's our guy.
Yes. Let's tell him all the wonderful things we could do so he has an understanding of our capabilities.
Oh.
Every single
I could take you
secret
with
that
me.
we have.
He says that would be entirely fascinating.
And then I could leave him there.
Well, just to step out of the game, I wanted to see what he knows about the creature that was pursuing us and that big pulsating gem in the.
Did
Well,
you
you
tell
don't know
me about
anything
the
about that.
creature that was
You
pursuing
didn't tell
us?
us?
Did I tell him? I don't think I told him.
You told him about the amethyst.
I told him about the amethyst. I
You
told you
tell-
guys about the. I don't
No,
think
he
I
didn't
told
tell
you.
us about the incoming horrible
Okay.
danger.
But I do mention the amethyst and the sheer size and magnitude of it.
Really? He says, I don't suppose you could give me exact coordinates by chance.
I could,
Really?
but you wouldn't get it.
Well, he's not very coordinated.
Why wouldn't we be able to get it?
Because you don't know how to go through rocks.
We're working on it. We're quite close. I think we're on the verge of a breakthrough. Coordinates
Just a few
would
more
be
children.
potentially
Well,
useful.
let me ask you this. What would it be worth to you if I did give you these coordinates?
Why, if it actually proved out, I'd be very willing to pay you a very handsome
No.
sum.
I'm not looking for pay.
Come on, how many children?
We're looking for children
Oh, children.
and help to get the children.
Well, my dear sir, believe me, I'll help you as far as I can. Aside from anything, any business deals.
Well, then in
you
that
might
case, then yeah, we'll take some cash anyway.
have. It says, but I would need to know for certainty that such an artifact actually was there. So, if you give me the coordinates and I find it, then I will be happy to sign a contract with you, and we will pay you a due sum of 20%.
You know what?
Is he calling you a liar?
Let's conclude this business after we get the children.
It's about,
It's okay.
no, it's about 8 feet long.
It looks hungry though.
Yeah, it's got fangs, dude. It's not. It's gonna. It's
It's
yeah.
one of those jumping spiders, I think.
No,
That's
spiders.
good. You are a brave
I felt
soul.
so bad. I killed one the other day. It was in my tub, right?
Really?
So I got a glass.
How big was
and
it?
It was about that big.
That's pretty big.
And I put a glass over it because I usually like to get him and throw him out the window. I don't like
Right.
to kill him.
Yeah.
But the stupid thing kept like jumping like
Ah.
not into the glass but to the side. So he was in the tub, so I'm kind of trying to go up like this. I wound up like ripping 4 of its legs
Yeah.
off. And the poor thing was like, oh god, oh god. So I had to
Ah.
squish it. I felt
Wow.
terrible. I felt terrible. I hate killing spiders.
Feeling terrible is no excuse.
I know.
They didn't mean to do it.
All right. Had you only left it alone.
Well, but
I'm not trying to make
then it
you
would have
feel
crawled up my
guilty.
leg and bit me and killed me. So you know,
No, you would have gotten powers.
that's
No,
good.
he would have shown up and cut it off.
That's good.
All right. So where are we?
I was about to make a deal with you. I'll sign that contract. That sounds like a deal.
No, let's give them a reason to keep you alive first.
No, that is a reason to keep me alive.
Yeah, but don't do it now.
He says, besides, we have to draw up the contract. It would take at least a day.
Once the contract
You're
is
welcome to
drawn,
stay.
That's when I'll give you the. I'll give you the.
Well, we need to get to White Road. You said you know a shorty cut? Do you say?
No, I said I know a safer
Safer
path.
way.
There are 2 safer paths, I believe. One would be to go around the Black Ant Canyon. There's a path that goes off to the to what would be your left, and it skirts the edge of the cavern.
Okay.
And
Now-
what other help could you offer us besides just a map to a location?
Somebody's nose will be handy.
As far as help to you, I mean, perhaps, I don't know, are you lacking in equipment of any kind? We might be able to facilitate, I suppose.
Well, the equipment that I have on my sheet, which I've never been able to actually had because I left right away after the meeting. Can I just say I have this stuff?
Okay,
Okay.
Yeah, is there like an armory or something like that we can check out?
well, I wouldn't say an armory, but I mean, we do have a store of equipment that's useful for, the caverns.
I would think Delvin would be very, very.
I would
intrigued.
like some. I need new. I need a lantern.
Any light sources that last longer?
Lantern.
Speaking of lanterns,
Yes, yes. Well, we have some of the finest lanterns.
whatever
Available.
happened to Lantern Man?
Arcturus. Yeah, Arcturus wandered off at some point and didn't even notice.
He's really? He's wandered off and we didn't even notice.
Well, he had mentioned earlier that he was probably going to wind up taking a different path. I guess you figure he already took it.
What can you tell us about the stone forest?
The what?
The stone forest, the stone trees.
Oh, the petrified forest.
That doesn't seem natural.
Well, it's an interesting story. As far as I know, and one of the things that I'm actually doing here is researching exactly why is there a petrified forest here.
Ossification, clearly.
You don't say.
Gorgonization is what I sense. I think something is giving it the petrifying gaze. Perhaps basilisk, gorgon, perhaps
And they do set a style.
I suppose that's
something
possible.
along those lines, perhaps.
I don't know. Trees can't.
I made up that word, by the way.
If they're ants, they can look at them.
Huh?
If they were ants,
They were ants.
More than one syllable.
yeah, that
Very
was
impressive.
a bit shocking.
Yes. Well,
I can speak gobbledygook too.
I see. I'm sorry, to get back to your point.
Trees. Yeah, you're saying you were looking into why they were petrified.
Right. It's one of the more fascinating bits of research that I've been working on, but we still haven't come to a conclusion. But apparently, the entire base of this cavern was at one time above ground.
How long ago? Centuries.
I can't say exactly for sure, but based on the petrification of the trees, we are estimating somewhere in the perhaps hundreds of thousands of years vicinity. Although there are what makes it particularly difficult is that our analysis has been thwarted by the fact that there are other elements within the cavern that indicate that it was above ground a mere 100 years ago.
You said you're also studying time as well.
No, I said that.
This is, it's interesting you should ask that question. Why do you ask?
I'll tell him about my vision on the McPherson's farmhouse with the
Oh.
time passing and the smoke panther and everything.
Right. He listens to all that and he says, and what was your conclusion from that experience?
That time seems to time. I don't know have words to describe it. The time seems to pass through that area rapidly, but that somehow that the McPherson's hut is immune to it. His whole the passage of time happens quickly, and this came through in a way that, and for some reason, I saw the smoke creature trying to break into this.
Was the time going forwards or backwards?
It seems to just. I saw trees sprout from the ground and then die and sprout from the ground. It just seemed to like. I mean, that's what I remember.
It was going forwards. That's
Yeah.
very interesting. So I find that very fascinating. Can you tell me anything else about the experience? Anything that you noticed? Any detail that stood out, comes to your mind at all? Like,
I just. All I remember is that I staying away. If I was caught in it, I think I would have perished. I think. That's. I'm sorry. I just don't remember. I just remember watching from the distance and seeing the smoke panther trying to get into the. This is like months ago. So
right, sure. But when you say smoke panther, could you elaborate on that?
I describe it as best as I remember it.
Okay.
It was trying to get into the house.
Yeah, it was bashing its way, trying to smash its way into McPherson's hut.
But it was making no.
Made not even the slightest dent.
So they're just like.
Meanwhile, all around it, time was shriveling and shrieking.
It just seemed like.
Perhaps that's the time beast, and that was what was making things go forward and backwards in its thrashings.
He says, when did this occur?
However many days ago it was. I don't know.
Okay.
No,
I mean, a few days ago. He says, that's interesting. Actually, it really wouldn't have been a few days ago. You guys have been in the cavern for definitely less than a day. You guess, all told, maybe 4 hours.
Since that incident.
Yeah. No, not since that incident. That incident occurred the night before. So you'd say probably about 12 hours ago.
See, it's hard to recount these things and just actually play them months out.
I know.
So I will
It's
tell him.
perfectly understandable.
I will tell him when it happened.
You told me 6 months to do this? to play this?
Yes. It seems like it was months
Yeah,
ago, but it was only a
saying
day
that.
ago.
What?
Yeah, I know. It was, yeah, exactly. So he says, aha, that is very interesting.
What do you know of McPherson? Have you heard of him?
McPherson?
He lives in this area.
Well, I don't know anything of a Mr. McPherson at all, but I do know that there's a stone cabin of ancient origin that's above the cavern.
And McPherson now dwells there
Oh, he does.
with his family.
Really?
His wife and
His
son.
wife and children live in the
Is that the gray water?
no.
No. And his ghost daughter, which you are now going to tell us about the ghosts in this town where Crumpus is.
My dear sir, I don't believe in ghosts.
I'll tell him of the vision I saw. How do you explain that with the children and the flutes?
That we all saw.
Perhaps it was a play of light.
No, it was not.
Perhaps it was the wind blowing through the
I'm
caverns.
gonna-
That insults my intelligence.
I'm going to tell him about the time that I saw a chicken actually bend time.
Is he
He
checking
looks
his-
incredulous. He says, "Gentlemen, I'm afraid I'm a scientist. I simply cannot believe the things that you are saying are true. It
You're
must
calling
be
the dwarf a liar.
well, and perhaps the way you perceived it was this
You're
way. but,
saying there is no
there must
time
be a
chicken.
Ask
logical-
him. Ask him.
there must
You're
be a
saying the
logical
dwarf is a
explanation
liar
for all
and there
this."
is no time chicken.
Tell him about the damn talking chicken that you understood.
Time chicken, sir. Time chicken.
You know-
Chrono chicken.
I really don't care. Just, you gave us food, so now we have strength to carry on. You might want to give us knowledge and tell us exactly what you want accomplished here.
In Atlanta.
Crumpus's head on a plate. Tell me what you want out of this.
Well, it says, personally, I don't have anything against Mr. Crumpus. I've never met him. I would say that if you're trying to rescue children, you should rescue them. I would imagine that's probably a good idea. I don't know.
I'm a doctor. I just realized it. I'm a doctor of common sense. I
Oh.
study common sense.
That's wonderful.
Right.
I admire
I
you.
have needs. You have needs.
Yes.
You've done things
And
for
you can tell
us.
he's pretty damn calm.
What do you want?
Oh, you mean in lieu of some sort of payment for my services to you? Oh,
How are we being used?
well, I didn't have a plan for that, frankly. I can't imagine. How about perhaps on your way back, you might be willing to agree to our business arrangement. That would certainly be of use to me.
Chrono hen would be
So
to me,
if he didn't
sir.
tell you about his jaunt, then you'd have just given us free food and the direction. I
In
think he
exchange for knowledge, you gave me wonderful knowledge. You gave me this amazing wasp from the other side of the brook. Now that's rather fascinating. I don't think that you're quite aware of exactly how significant this wasp is.
well, don't worry. I'm sure they'll be nesting all over this place soon
Yeah.
because they're all over the place.
You're saying that's what that wasp was the key to killing further black ants.
I wouldn't know, but I will
Well,
certainly
it was on a dead
look
black ant,
into it. Yes.
and they were on a few of them.
Anyway, to answer your question, no, I didn't have any particular plan to use you fellows. I really was inviting you because it seemed like you were in trouble and might need some help.
Let him drop the contract. We'll use that as leverage, like you said.
How long has it been since we slept?
I just
Probably
wanted to-
about 8 hours, something like that.
Okay, so we're good.
Actually, I don't remember sleeping at all.
I don't either.
Lido's like, I
Well,
slept a
yeah.
long time.
Well,
I'm gonna sleep right
because didn't you sleep? Oh yeah, it was raining that night. After you engaged with Mr. McPherson,
Yeah.
you guys were in the woods and it was raining and raining and raining, and you had
now.
these little.
Before we went
You had the
underground.
huts, but then I mean your little, make do lean
And that's when he walked off and saw the whole.
right. And then in the morning, you did get sleep though. No, you guys did get sleep that night. I remember. You were recuperated. You built lean-tos. It wasn't a comfortable
You
sleep, but
slept
you
right
did
next
sleep.
to the dead body of Michigan. You snuggled right up. And
Okay. Anyway, yeah, I do believe that you are actually okay in terms of sleep.
So how far is the?
You said there's two paths. One just goes around the canyon, and the other one.
Ah, yes. Well, the other one goes to the right. It follows the shore of the lake. There's a gate that leads into
What's it called?
Whitewood.
Whitewood.
Yes, past the pier. There's a pier on the lake.
And they're both equally safe.
No, I wouldn't say the lake is quite as safe, but it's certainly shorter.
What is the danger of the lake?
It's called Blue Dragon Lake. Rumor has it that there's some great beast that lives in the lake.
But surely not a dragon. As a scientist, you would not believe in such things.
Well, I mean, a large lizard could be called a dragon, I suppose. Fire-breathing, magical, with flaming red eyes, that kind of thing. No,
You believe in ants, too,
yes, well, it's called Black Ant Canyon. I've never been there. People talk about ants, but I haven't seen them, and I don't believe I'll have a chance to do so.
Well, something you need to know that they shoot barbs at you, and the barbs are quite toxic. So
Really?
keep that in mind.
you have some of the barbs.
I do.
Actually, I don't think they're toxic. I think they just hurt. If they're toxic, I'm in trouble.
Do you check?
Am I dead?
You're not
I
dead.
check my pulse.
Check your pulse. Okay, pulse seems a little bit off.
It's been a while.
You just finally notice that there's a branch coming out of your neck.
Am I dead?
Talking
You're not dead.
You
Okay.
could be turning into an ant.
It's been a long time.
It's only been a couple of hours.
Maybe we should cut some.
Pretty long time.
Ants grow slowly.
They kill slowly. The poison has like a 50-year half-life.
Okay, so what are you doing?
Do you want the shorter or the safer?
What do you think?
Safer.
Okay.
Order.
I tell you what, we could do both.
Let's break the party!
That's a great idea from Ramel.
Another classic great idea from Ramel.
So one for shorter. You guys want safer.
Uh-huh. Shorter is Blue Dragon Lake, right?
Yeah.
And dragons mean treasure, and treasure means delving.
How much shorter is it? Like in
What
terms
you
of
know,
time.
you guys make me sound shallow.
How much shorter is it in terms of time? Like an hour shorter, a day shorter?
I would say it's about 6 times further to go around to the edge of the cavern than it is to
But it's
go
safe.
along the shore. I believe so.
What makes you think it is?
What makes me think it's safer?
Yeah.
I've never heard any rumors of there being any kind of trouble along the rim of the cavern. It doesn't mean there isn't any, by the way. I
Okay.
just never heard of anything.
Now, can we get back to Loeb? Because when we first came in here, we mentioned his name, and you looked like you had a knowledge of this Dr. Loeb.
Dr. Loeb, fascinating man. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. One of the most brilliant scientists of our age, undoubtedly.
And apparently other ages.
That could be. He was very, very big on experimenting with time. But apparently, he had a falling out with the Hobbiton Council, from what I heard, and they divested him of his position. Since then, rumor has it, he's gone underground, so to say.
Interesting.
So I say we take the shorter one.
He's underground. Get it? Where are we? We're underground, aren't we?
It's as if you're trying to insinuate that Dr. Loeb is here. I can assure you, I haven't seen him.
It isn't where Dr. Loeb is, it's when Dr. Loeb is.
Did you ever hear of the night?
The night. The night. There are many nights. I've heard of many
Let's
nights.
call him the Time Night.
The time night. No.
Who is hunting the time beast that he mentioned.
He doesn't believe in any of that, does he?
No. This all sounds like fantasy and fairy tale. Time beasts, time nights,
A chicken that can actually
chicken
manipulate
that
time.
can manipulate time, a talking chicken that can
With
manipulate
a
time.
friend turkey.
With a friend turkey, yes. All of this
You
sounds
must
like.
believe in some magic. You've somehow controlled the knoll to send a message to us.
Well, that's not magic. That's
No.
hypnosis.
Who does it?
I do.
How do you do it?
He already has.
Yeah, we're already under his spell.
He says,
Does he react at all to that?
what, the fact that you guys said that?
That I said that.
Uh-huh. He doesn't actually react to it at all. He's still engaged in conversation with Grasshopper. He says, adeptly.
Who taught? Is that something you learned on your own, or did somebody teach you?
Well, it's kind of an experimental science.
Our friend here, Thorgrim, does it with the medallion.
Ah, yes. Maybe they've been previously hypnotized by it and are focused on it. Mesmerism is a fascinating and powerful mental science.
How do you
I
come
wouldn't
from-
call it magic, however.
How do you live in this world of that knowledge that magic exists? It obviously does.
I believe that for whatever people are calling magic, has perfectly rational explanations behind it.
So he can walk through the earth just based on science, are you telling me?
If he can walk through the earth, which I have no reason to doubt, since he says he can, then I believe that there would be a purely scientific explanation for why.
I'm just gonna shake my head.
You read books, don't you?
Big ones.
Oh, we should go.
He says, well, listen, it's certainly a pleasure to meet you, and I do wish you well on your journey.
Let's check out that room of
Sure.
supplies.
Yes, one of my servants will bring you there. And is there anything else that I can offer you before you go?
You've given us plenty, I thank you.
You're quite welcome. And
Don't forget the contract.
yes, I'm looking forward to it. I will have it drawn up by tomorrow.
Well, science is way to go.
Okay. So you guys are finished eating. Everything's done. He's graciously bringing one of the servants over.
Wash
Stole
up
the
the
pen.
Lido stole the pen. You got to roll for it, buddy. All right.
If he has like a washroom, I'll wash
But-
up if I can.
I guess, I mean, this is not just the sort of thing where Lido leaps across the table to
No, no,
grab the
no.
pen.
It's like, you know,
Okay, so he's been making his way over
after he
there for
spilled
quite
the
some
wine, the
time.
guy drank, you
I
know,
see, okay, so he kind of made his.
divided his
Yeah, okay.
I'm keeping an eye on him too. I don't want him stealing from our host. So
Okay. Oh, wait, Grasshopper's keeping an eye on it. It's going to make it a difficulty of 6.
All right,
What's
I'm
your
spotting a 5.
What's your thieving level?
12.
We know it's not 12. You can't fool us.
I'm not actually a thief. I only have stealth.
Aha.
That's because Lido's not like that.
Yeah.
He's not-
Ishkandar was the
He's
thief.
not a thief.
I don't. Neither was
No,
actually.
he's channeling
Ishkandar.
Iskandar again.
Wait a second.
No, they were always
What
up to
class
the
is
Chinese.
Iskandar was a freeman.
He is a thief, but that's the thing. He has no thieving skills.
Well, you didn't pick him.
I
So
didn't.
he
He,
never-
didn't pick him. Neither did Ishkandar.
Because
he's not
a thief.
Well, he is. It's his thief.
It's
right
he's
there.
a thief class,
He's like a
but
scout.
he never. Yeah, he's more like a scout. He doesn't. He's not. It's not typical for him to steal. I don't think.
All right, we'll leave it alone.
So okay. I mean, you could try it.
No, it's okay.
You know, Spirit of
You
Ishkandar and all that.
talk to me.
You know, Spirit of Ishkandar. You know all that.
I will just put. a
Do I
hand on
notice?
it.
Do I notice he's looking at the pen?
Yes, you see
He
him
does like
glance at the
shiny
pen.
objects.
For
I
one
say-
moment, you saw him do something akin to this.
Even Sam was.
I said,
always-
how about the pen?
How about the pen?
Yes.
The pen.
Yes.
You mean this pen?
Yes.
He picks up the pen.
If you give me the pen on my return, I will show you something amazing.
Hmm.
If I return,
He says,
I'll return.
there's only 6 of these pens in the entire world.
I'll show you things that's one of a kind. It's in my
I wouldn't
pants.
take that back. I wouldn't take that.
It is one of
That's
my
a-
pants too.
That just sounds like a bad deal.
You know what I'm
wouldn't take
talking
that
about, right?
agreement.
Yeah, I don't know. That just sounds like a bad deal. He says this is a priceless pen.
Huh.
And
It's
you
a,
see,
it's a, it's a rare
Priceless
priceless.
is like a very large word, priceless. I mean, there's very large
There's
prices.
only 6 of these in the
There's less
entire
of these
world.
pens than there are on those sun plants.
Yes.
Does it do something special besides write your name?
It's worthless.
Do something special. You mean like have a laser beam or something?
It doesn't do magic, that's for sure.
No, it doesn't do magic. It does calligraphy.
I'm a mapper, and it would help me greatly to have such a pen.
Really?
Yes.
Hmm. He says, well, to be honest with you, while I'm a very generous man, I'm afraid I'm not quite that generous.
It was it.
Did it belong to someone? Did it belong to someone famous?
In halfling society, it is rude to ignore.
It is rude to not give your priceless treasure upon asking. That's rude.
The Declaration of Independence is awesome on my wall, man.
Yeah, exactly. Then I went to Fort Knox, and man, were they rude too. Gosh, Humans
Of
are
course, you know this
rude.
means wolf.
Gosh, they're so rude, those humans. Wow. Yes, he puts the pen in his pocket.
If he's got like a washroom, I'd like to clean up as much as I can.
Yes, certainly, most certainly. So he shows you the amenities that you need.
Didn't you bathe this week?
You guys get the
We monks
equipment
like to
from
stay clean.
the storeroom.
Actually,
You know,
Dave.
and you're all ready to go.
Yes.
Oh, did we get our supplies though?
Yes, you got your
Lantern,
supplies.
oil, and ropes.
Oil and ropes. Okay, I'll tell you what. We will handle that at the end.
Okay.
So you're ready to go.
Are we taking the long way or the short way?
That's the question I want to know.
The
the
short
answer to.
way.
I'm okay with taking the short way.
I'm
It's
okay
got the
with.
blue dragon.
I'm okay with splitting the party.
No, we're not splitting the party.
Oh, you can do what you want.
If you guys are taking the long way, I'll go.
It
with
may
you
not be an
guys.
even split.
I just vote for the short way.
Since this is a geological type of thing, I'm going to ask my God what he feels about it.
Omri? You're going to ask. Eric is going to ask something of Omri.
Yeah.
Really?
He's not going to ask to fly. That's for damn sure.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, but no, he's going to ask, because this is really like, it's
Well, what is
very underground and it's very dwarfish, and
Okay, what's he going to ask? Oh, great Omri. Go
Should
ahead.
I be a
give
coward?
us
or-
the right
No,
way
no,
to
no.
go.
Start from the beginning. I want to hear the whole speech.
Oh, great Omri, my Lord and Master, give us the way.
Wait. The mighty one of the earth.
The mightiest one of the earth,
You know,
the one that
the
creates
awesome-
mountains and valleys. Give us the best way to
Wait,
go.
is that all? Just the mountain?
The one that shaped the earth and the realms on it,
So true. Yeah.
You know what you
and
do.
the planets that float around it.
Oh, yeah. Those are mine too. Yeah. Pretty good so far. What
So
else has
well
he got for
made.
me? What else?
Let's see. And their moons. I love their moons.
All right, good enough. Carry on.
Help us by showing us the best way to go under this underground cavern to where we need to get to.
Take the long way.
The long way it is.
Shortcut.
Omri says take the long way.
You know, something
What-
like that bar. Pretty
What
good.
does Shinnok think of religion? Does he worship any deities? I'll ask him.
Schleprock. What do you
Well,
worship?
on your way out, as your guys are kind of going into the courtyard and so
Right.
on, you turn and say, "Oh, and how about religion? You follow any of the Elthos or
Yes.
anything like that?"
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
That's
Yes.
what we say.
Uh-huh.
Dr. Schleprock.
He says, "Well, I don't believe in the supernatural, but the Elkron may in fact be mighty beings of the elder worlds. I wouldn't discount it.
Today?
However, I don't personally worship any of them.
You don't believe they can intercede in the affairs of man?
Oh, I believe they very well may be able to.
You don't believe that intercession can be the form of magic?
That I would doubt.
You've never been accosted on the street by people with pamphlets.
Too many times.
Well,
Anyway.
it was a pleasure talking to you. You're an interesting man.
I bid you all farewell and good luck on your journey. And my advice to you is don't jump to hasty conclusions.
Ooh, it's like a D&D cartoon clue from the DM.
Yeah, I know. He comes out.
Ding, 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 ding.
And what was the name of the unicorn? Uni.
Uni.
And so you exit the courtyard and you're on the other side of the wall. Which way are you going to go? There is a path that leads towards the cavern wall, and there's another path that leads towards the lake.
Well, I immediately start going to the cavern wall.
Lake.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to listen with his. He talked to his god directly. I'm going to go with him.
Okay, so that's Grasshopper
Nobody wants to
Eric
make a foolish decision.
and
You know, right?
Hermel
Who are you, baby? Who are you people?
Lido's going to follow.
and Lida. Okay, so those guys are heading off down the left-hand trail. Where does
Is this going to be a
Delvin
mini
go?
split?
I don't know.
Dead
I
end.
don't know. We're about to find out. Come on, Delvin. Where are you going? Which way? To
I
the
suppose I'll
Blue
follow
Dragon
these
Lake,
knuckleheads.
where all the diamonds are.
So, what do you think of my new title, Doctor of Common Sense?
It's interesting.
I like it.
I like it.
That's pretty
Maybe
cool.
shorten it to Docs.
Is it Doctor?
Wow.
Just be Dr. Common.
Docs Hermel.
Is it Doctor Common Sense or Doctor of Common Sense?
I guess I have a doctorate of.
Well, if you say Dr. Common Sense, it makes him more like a superhero.
Mm,
Yeah.
Dr. Common.
I like Dr. Horse Sense.
So,
He's
Delvin,
he's
where is Delvin going?
No, I'll go with these forlorn fellows. Why not?
Okay, so
Don't worry, Delvin. At some point, we're gonna kill something that has like something shiny on it. I just know it. I have a good feeling about this.
Don't worry about it. My contract, you'll get a chunk of it.
okay, and Thorgrim. Thorgrim, where's Thorgrim? Thorgrim, yeah. What happened to Thorgrim?
We could we give him the option. Of
He
come
just
with us
walked
if
off.
he
You're
likes.
saying?
He went into the other room
Well,
with the
he
servant.
doesn't come into the courtyard.
If he's still around, I offer him. He can come with us if he likes.
Yeah, I'm gonna go backtrack and find my friend Thorgrim.
Friend
Uh,
Thorgrim?
He's somewhere
Really?
in the manor, you think. There's a servant with a puffy white wig and a foofy
But
shirt,
his wig is a little askew.
powder blue.
Did you see
vest.
Thorgrim about this big, burly, stinks of dead bear?
He says,
Ew.
I saw him when he entered, but I haven't seen him recently.
I tracked Thorgrim by scent.
Wow, that won't be hard.
The difficulty of -1.
Yes. Okay, I'll cut to the chase. It's without actually going into rooms in the manor and invading the manor. You don't see.
That's too bad. Oh well.
Are you gonna snitch? The Snylock? Snitch at the Snylock?
No, he went back to Scarparelli. That's too bad. I really. Wait a second. You know what? I'm going outside the manor.
Yes.
I'm looking for Thorgrim's tracks going away from the manor.
Aha.
Do I find them?
Roll. Tracking.
Well, how difficult would this be?
Thorgrim? And his actually he's all healed up, right? Yeah. Okay. It's a fine. He's a careful guy.
Yep.
You see Thorgrim's tracks heading
Okay.
off to the right.
I will. I'm just gonna shout, Thorgrim. Thorgrim, come on, join us.
So annoying. I will roll. No, he's gone.
All right, head back.
There's a pair of glinting green eyes in the distance.
Go shoot,
You still have your bow out?
huh?
Still have your bow out?
It's in the distance. I got time.
The eyes blink and wink out.
I go, I guess, back in the manor house into the backyard, or do I go around it, or
Well, you were already outside. You followed his tracks out to the trail. One goes left, that's the direction you're going. Thorgrim's tracks went to the right. He's heading off towards the lake.
towards the lake? Huh? I wonder if this. I see the servant. And I go. Actually, no. I go back to the group. I wonder if this lake is the same lake that had all the worms in it.
And the ghost fish.
No, the giant worms that
The first lake we
issue
saw
there.
when we came down.
Yeah,
That's the ghost fish, right?
no. What he means is when you guys were in the room with the statue of the demon, with
That
the
was
big
their
pot belly.
conversation.
Okay, they went down some stairs.
Okay.
They followed Thorgrim, and they went down another flight of stairs. At the bottom of those stairs was was a cavern with a lake instead of a floor,
Okay.
and they kind of skirted around the edge of that lake along the wall and made their way into the next room.
Well, based on the knowledge of what Smallock just gave us of which way to go if we went towards the lake, since Lida was mapping and Eric kind of has the sense down here, does that feel like that would be the lake?
Absolutely not. There's
Absolutely
no way.
not.
No way.
I wouldn't say no way in this place.
Well, that's possible, but as far as Eric knows, no. This would be a completely different lake.
It's just interesting that that Thorgrim went this way.
No, it's not. It's GM caveat.
Maybe he has business in that direction.
We've been. I told you that reel has been.
So I really wanted to know, was Thorgrim tracked alone? Was
No.
it just Thorgrim? No.
There was no. Yeah, you see no.
It's okay. So he's just reporting in. That's all right. So you guys know we're being used, right? Right?
Probably.
Okay.
Well, we'll go on our way down the long way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell us
Okay.
when something happens.
What
I
happens
might blow
is it's 11:30,
Okay.
and I am going to bed.
Okay. So
That is what
out of the
happens.
distance.
Yes, but we're at the next juncture.
I'll run back it up in that oyster shell.
He eats you and makes a pearl.
Do you really run back to the
Of course
oyster
not.
shop?
He makes a pearl out of your skull.
Don't. That would have been
That'd be a
happy.
cool pearl.
10 sets of players later, you find a skull shaped like a pearl.
Are you sure? You
Mark
don't go
does
back
stuff
to
like
the-
that, by the way, just so you know.
It'd be cool if it was this.
When Mark's like 90 years
pearl
old
shaped
and
like
he's
a
lured
skull.
some more people to his place for
Giant
meetup,
pearl.
he's gonna mention your skull.
There you go.
All right. So concludes today's adventure.
Ding.
Hit the gong, my friend.
Ring the bell. Lucha.